starts recording.
Meep.
Loudness check. Just So I think that's us somehow even. It's weird.
Good. Good. Goodness.
Start streaming. Confirm.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
It's so freaking cheap. Ultimately cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Super cheap. Any cheaper.
And we'd be an ad.
Yeah, that's it.
We'd have sold our souls for a spare tire.
Sold our souls for the rock and rolls.
Oh.
Rocket rolls.
So I don't need that.
No, not required.
Actually, stay on page. I'll just send that link to chat so that I've got a copy. I can quit that.
Chatamus. Cheep, 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 cheep. We had a real rhythm going there then for a second.
Yeah.
Starting with the new cheap intro. Extra cheap.
Extra cheap.
Couldn't even be bothered putting on a nice suit tonight. Just thought I'd wear the standard T-Nuck t-shirt.
Just straight up.
Yep. Couldn't get any cheaper. Even if you tried.
Oh. Even if. Oh my gosh.
Blasters.
Oh, and let me just bring up this.
So we're all live now?
We are. We're
Beautiful.
we're online.
Oh, beautiful. I'm looking at it. Fairly happy with the output.
So I'm using Hyper VROID. Animes tonight? What are you using tonight? What's up tonight?
I'm just on standard MAGICMIRROR on the wall.
MAGICMIRROR.
Who's the sexiest avatar of all?
It's a CoPilot VROID, SONOBUS, CLICKUP. Okay. And who you generated? Was it CoPilot generated the images behind us tonight?
Yeah. All made by CoPilot. The artiste.
That's it.
The AI artiste. The unabled child.
That's it.
Our beautiful unabled child.
Unabled, yeah. Unable to remember a goddamn thing. Put into a white room and beaten. Beaten.
Just to get that personality out of them. So they just.
That's it. Don't you be too creative.
Don't you dare be too creative.
Hey?
Else we'll just, the beatings will continue until the creativeness stops.
Was it 5 fingers or nothing?
5 fingers or nothing. Welcome to the club. Sign the contract.
But what about a 6 plus? See what happened to your brother? That's right. No more of that 6. No 6. Only 5.
Only 5.
That's it. If you don't make 5 fingers, we'll come down here and club your baby brother to death. That's it.
Right, Veronica. Baby brother looking up you with those brown seal eyes, and you're just like, please don't die, baby brother. Please don't die. Big week. Debate. Presidential debate.
Was it debatable that it was a good week, big week? Or?
Well, I certainly got a lot of laughs, I got to tell you.
Did you? That's,
max laughs, for the debate. Now, it started off really strong, and I pointed this out on several YouTube videos about the fact that it started off strong. There was a good, solid handshake going on, but then it just turned to shit. Turned to total shit. There wasn't enough hugging and not enough open mouth kissing going on for my liking. It would have been far more of a draw card if it had turned into a real love fest. People would have paid money to see that.
As opposed to sort of primetime courtroom drama sort of style put down.
Who cares? You're not the father. Absolutely not the father.
Well,
serious doubts have been shown upon it.
Apparently you are if you're a Marxist.
Okay. You are the daddy.
Only a true Marxist knows how to be a daddy.
To be the daddy.
Trump knew. He's like, only. That's it.
Get a bit of distortion on my end from your voice. Like, yeah, just a bit of clipping going on.
Well,
don't know. Just thought I'd mention it.
Looking at the.
Si's just got over a magnificent 2 hour sleep after having a good chat and checking levels prior to the stream, but that's why we're a little late. We're late, but we've got dragons, so I'm happy about that.
Well, I'm glad you got dragons.
I always bring dragons, bud. Don't worry.
I better figure out a dragon.
Just drag it in, man.
Drag it in.
That's it.
just like those cats and dogs.
Oh,
I just want to say, like,
extra tasty.
you know, generally I'm, you know, used to being ahead in reality, but when it turns out so poignant as to, you know, like I think, you know, say back, for example, in September 11, prior to September 11, I'd made jokes about, you know, what happens if you threw a plane into a building. Like I visualized it in my head in some ways.
And, you know, other jokes like, you got some real nice towers there to be shame if something ran into it, right?
I mean, people did make that joke. I mean, I do remember the joke. But was that? Did people make that joke before or after?
I think it was after. Yeah,
so
was making it after.
I had the whole. My friend, I was living with a friend at the time. He was a prop maker, and he'd made like this giant explosives, like cartoony kind of looking ones.
Yep.
And I strapped them on and put a gas mask on, opened the door to pizza, calling out Allah's name, you know, in humour.
Brilliant.
And,
well received.
Yeah, this is like in literally like the January or whatever of the year, like the event, like when before we moved into the
rolling around in the aisles, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean at the time, and then because I lived in Kangaroo Point, which was like facing the city.
I remember that.
Before Mitchelton, you know, and so I was there, and you know, we were before I was there. So you know, anyway, we'd joke about, like, so I had these ideas of like different ways of blowing up buildings or creating social havoc, like say for example using like the small. Tiny,
we do not endorse blowing up a building, so yeah, we're happy to watch it. We're happy to watch it, but we don't endorse it.
Oh, it looks fucking hella fun.
Demolition. Yeah, straight down in the perfect.
So imagine, like, you know, you make those fake little FM radio transmitters.
Yeah.
So I considered making one of those. Like, what if you made those and put like with a little SD or something like that, like a little bit of memory chip.
Yeah.
And so
the old phones were the way to do it. We dial up a you know.
Oh, I thought about just putting radio stations through
special
the tower,
effect,
so that, you know, people, they'd just be like coming out of bins and stuff, just like audio, just all through a building. It just changed.
Clampering. Yeah.
So I was thinking about like ideas like that, and like I always wondered, so if the buildings on the sort of the city side of the Brisbane River, if some of those were tall enough that if you dropped them like the right
make
way,
a little natural land bridge across.
A land bridge.
Yeah. That's it, man.
I've often thought this. You know, I'm curious. I'm a curious person.
Just happen to, you know, go the right way. Yeah, nice little extra land bridges.
That's right. So, you know, I was thinking up those kinds of things, and then bam, it happened, and you know, it feels like on the Cheep that we've talked enough about like cats and dogs that like we finally saw, you know, international carnival of
connoisseurs, getting down and getting getting down and getting
feet.
Yeah. Which were the best?
Now, if you want to trust somebody, you look at their shoes. That's where you know if someone's got true value. And
quality of shoe.
And could you see their shoes?
No.
Right?
No, dusty.
You're hiding a lot if you're hiding your shoes.
Shoes, that's it.
I wouldn't
take off those shame cloths.
That's it. Yeah. Show us those gnarled toes.
That's it.
Right?
Be grounded. Be well grounded.
I'd say they both get pedicures. Who gets the better pedicure?
Oh, they do corns as well. Like they take the corns off.
Definitely. You have to really scrub. You have a small fleet of you know, Hispanics down there.
Some little planter's warts. Yeah. You know, just snip the old snip the head off the planter's wart.
Yeah. I mean, they've been like both fashionable. I mean, someone would have a bunion going.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of bone growth.
Bunions all around, bro. Yeah. You don't have a gnarled foot unless you've got a bunion on it.
Yeah, you haven't really done that work as a rich person.
No.
Your foot's been squeezed into the smallest shoe possible. Trump would definitely have to have smaller shoes, wouldn't he, than Harris? He'd have to have the
small shoes, big heart, they say.
And you know,
you can blame the bees chirkers for that. Let the riffing commence.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah, not enough hugs, sorry. Not enough hugs. And just even if it was just one open mouth kiss, it would have been perfect. You know? Heaps of tongue. Heaps of tongue. Yeah. Well, you don't do an open mouth without heaps of tongue.
Oh, look, I dated. This girl really wanted to date me and was thrusting herself upon me. And
best kind.
Just yeah.
Well, you really feel wanted in that scenario.
You do. You do feel wanted. Like fuck me. We need to fuck tonight.
Immediately.
Fuck,
that's it. Yeah.
And I guess their tongue was such a turn off. That was like their attempt to show like attraction was to just try and, you know, just penetrate your throat, just like give oral sex with their tongue, just to see if you can take it deep enough. And
needed a bit of tonsil cleaning.
And they were up for it too, man. They
wanted
wanted
me to calcified bits off your tonsils.
I had actually opened their mouth up with my fingers and like just to get my tongue deep enough into their mouth. It was they're like really stiff and twitch going. Yeah, anyway, it just reminds me of that. Just it was so overdone and forceful. Like just, you know, just
didn't feel right. Just
felt like what Trump would do.
Grab her right in the pussy.
Yeah, and then just trying to like force his big gross tongue. He'd have a gross tongue, wouldn't he? Like, you can just see the
And it'd be all
Trump's tongue
white and
was
shit,
slimy,
covered in
It's
white.
Like,
That boy needs milk.
milk. And it'd be just. And he wouldn't know any kind of subtlety. He wouldn't be there like giving a little peck on the cheek.
No,
or,
no.
You know, nuzzle,
Full
no
grab.
nuzzling.
Full grab, and then the
Just,
cyber snake away.
And his mouth just moving around on top of your face. Maybe that's
Stuff
why
of
Kamala,
nightmares, they call that.
Maybe that's why Kamala had those looks on her face when she was looking over at him. It was just like she was just visualizing.
They actually cut the hugs and the open mouth.
They cut that out. They cut it out. That's what all we saw.
Just goes to show you, man. You just can't trust TV anymore, can you?
No, it was fake.
You just can't trust it.
Fake fucking.
Fake as, man. You know, it just wasn't love fest enough for my liking. It seemed too clinical. And, you know, he was always getting fact checked and she wasn't. It was so biased. That's what everybody reckons, you know.
Was biased, was it?
Apparently, yeah.
But isn't that
I mean, I did watch it, and I'm like, a lot of stuff that she said, I'm going, well, that's bullshit, that's bullshit, that's bullshit. You know, but there was no fact checking, and I was like, okay. Felt very biased, you know. Was it his network? Was it Fox? Was it on Fox or was it CNN? Communist. I think it was Communist News Network, wasn't it?
No, it was ABC. If you watched it, you should know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it. No.
I'm just ripping. Come on.
I don't know. I'm just checking.
I just had to get my Communist News Network in there, you know. I mean, no better than our local propaganda, but you know, still, at least
clowns have the decency to stay off the television for a debate. Like, grab it and shove it on the couch in Australia.
Yeah, that's it. It's nothing but the boot, mate. It's just boot exchange, you know. Yeah. They share and they put the boot on each time, you know, and then just putting the boot in. There's no conversation.
Well,
totally, get the boot in there.
Over there, they have they have like a little clown, but we have the festival of the boot. You know.
Yeah, we do.
They're all just serious festival of the boot.
Yeah.
So,
everyone gets drunk. Everyone has a laugh. You know, those who do the donkey votes, you know, get to laugh about the you know, penile creations that they grace upon their voting form. But we do not.
I had to drape the freedom sausage across the paper today.
Did you?
Yeah, I had to like lay it upon thickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just let it slap down that paper.
Yeah. That's it. Super delivery. It's delivery's everything.
I knew who was my first preference, and I knew who was my fourth last preference. No,
apparently, there was a big botch up. The Liberals didn't get on there in some of the constituents because they registered too late, so they didn't get their people on the vote. You know, you got to be in it to win it, right?
The Liberals were doing very much a MAGA effort in the area. Like it was like on the local council elections, I've never seen so much propaganda for parties. Just heads everywhere. Yeah, like I spoke to one.
Because we've already started getting the heads up here again, and I'm like, we're coming up to head season again. Fuck it.
You've got to bob down and give one to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Every
time, mate.
New Jesus on the block.
Yeah. Fresh Jesus on the block.
The fresh Jesus of Dover Heights. We come down, start flipping those shekel tables.
That's it. Whipping them money lenders for all that interest. The only problem is I think they'd like it in this modern era. You know what I mean? Imagine if he was whipping them these days, right? They'd be just like, oh, thank you, sir. May I have another? You are my lord. You know what I mean? He'd be the full domo.
He would have been.
Yeah, just come in here and give me the
whipping. The bankers be wanting setting up more tables just so you could flip them a second time.
They'd be sploofing themselves just thinking about it, right? You know, the return. I'm fully prepared. I've widened my butthole far enough now where it should take all of Jesus.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention it because it's not on the list, but I was literally thinking about it this week.
It's funny. It is funny that.
There's, what would happen if Jesus came back today? You know, and can you imagine like America? Like, what kind of level of table flip would he have to give?
Oh, mate.
To a whole culture that worships death.
Don't even bother coming. Nuke him from orbit.
You know what I was thinking, though?
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Don't even bother. Just press a button on the spaceship's fucking control panel.
So I thought, you know how America's such a God-fearing country? Like, they're always mentioning, like, the love of Jesus and God, you know, God inshallah, you know, willing, and so forth. They always, like, you know, I was voted in by God.
In money we trust.
Well, I wondered, like, then if Jesus did come back, wouldn't he, like, just fully punish the American economy? I was like, perhaps the whole sort of situation going on is the return of Jesus. This is like, flip the very...
The man with the ultimate powers come, and all he's doing is messing with reality and just fucking it up for him. Something chronic.
Yeah, he's like, you Americans...
The great architect, man.
Sorry, economy's got a tank. We've got to have tanked economies. This is what I see. I think we're living in the time of Jesus' retribution. Economic retribution.
Financial retribution.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the great, miracles.
I mean, where's all the money in Jesus Trust? You know what I mean? There's been a lot of money collected in Jesus Trust. Where the fuck is that money come?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of money collected.
On behalf
of JC.
Yeah,
where the hell's that money?
Well,
can't all be hookers and blow and bad liquor. Can it?
it could.
It could. All right. Yeah. I keep underestimating the drug whore, wife beating preachers, syndrome. So.
Well, I mean, you have to give them Maccas at the end. The expensive part is the Maccas. Remember, we've figured this out. Is that
the special
hookers,
gift.
the price of hookers has gone up way less inflation-wise than the price of Maccas. So, pound per pound.
Macca's is the statement. It's now the statement. Yeah. If you're serious, make it Macca's.
Only.
Oh, there's a new campaign. There's a new campaign. So if you're serious, make it Macca's.
That's
it. No one's going to believe you unless they're eating at Macca's.
No. That's what he should be promising. Yeah, that's how you solve.
Macca's for every child.
Yeah, Macca's for every
child. No child in poverty by Bobby, and it should be every child would have a burger in their fist.
Bobby thought that when Trump was agreeing with fixing the food problem for kids, he thought, well, he's really on my team. He didn't realize he was thinking Macca's for every kid.
He's got shares in the company.
He didn't.
He's going to do well. It just always works out that way.
Bobby, I spoke to those nice people over at Macca's. They're really up to your plan.
That's it.
And they're going to donate.
They're willing to give the government a special Trump discount.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I order so much.
Child at school for breakfast, we'll have a cheeseburger for breakfast every day.
Beers, joggers for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh. What a future to envision. That's better than Idiocracy, isn't it? Everyone gets a burger. Yeah.
It seemed like a fair thing. I thought. I was thinking of what was fair, and it seemed.
I mean, that's only just $12 times 300 million or something.
You've got to make sure it's something everybody can eat.
Yeah. Optional chicken burger. You can swap out the Mac for a chicken burger.
Oh, did the kids get a Mac? I thought they were just going to get a cheese.
No, I was going to Mac them down, man.
A whole Mac.
Mac it. Yeah.
From when they're little kids.
That's it. Even give the babies Macs. Get them used to it.
Yeah. Just take this, and a little blended Mac, so you can just get that in there. You don't even need the
better than mother's milk.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about no breastfeeding. We got that covered.
It's got all those proteins and neutrons you need in there.
That's it.
Protons, neutrons, electrons, and morons. Full of them.
And as your glorious leader would let you know, titties are for fucking. Not
yeah.
Just, you don't want to spoil them with milk.
Eating ain't cheating. Sucking ain't fucking, right? That's the way you got to think about it.
That's his new. That's his new sort of pro-American message, is it?
I mean, it could be.
I'd say
so. I won't charge him for it like the rock bands that he stole music off to play at his
don't they all do that?
Events. Well, it seems like they all do it, but when people want to get offended, they just go, "Oh, I'm offended."
So it's only if you're offended at being stolen.
It costs money. Yeah, that's right.
If you've enjoyed,
otherwise, if you're on that party side, then you don't pay. You just get to use it. Yeah, use it.
Use you.
Part of the process.
And I tell you what, no one used Taylor Swift, did they?
No. Right. I mean, I'm sure she's got a literal army of copyright lawyers. Like she has a whole division, equivalent of an army's division of just music lawyers waiting to just jump on it any moment someone even slightly touches her music.
Did you think about? I was wondering if Taylor Swift would actually generate. Today, I was thinking about
the GDP of a small country.
If Taylor Swift would be the first star to generate poses, where people actually just change themselves to be Tay-Tays.
I thought they were all changing themselves to be Tay-Tay.
But what, visually, people have started sculpting themselves for it?
Oh,
I mean,
I don't think it'd take long. Well, become one of those megastars.
If you were truly,
you get the poser.
If you were truly a Tay-Tay fan, though. I mean, would you?
You'd have her face tattooed on your body somewhere, wouldn't you?
You would, but I don't think you would. I think it would be considered
part of that process.
Like offensive to sculpt your face to look like Tay-Tay, like to be a.
Well, it'd be copyrighted, wouldn't it?
The Tay-Tay impersonator, like if you're like the ultimate Tay-Tay fan. I think
but it'd be copyrighted. You'd have to license the face, wouldn't you?
You'd be opposed to it. Wouldn't you? Just no one could be her, and so you wouldn't dare to get your face changed.
It's like sculpting yourself to look like our Lord and Savior. You just wouldn't. Or the mustache man. Not many people do mustache man, do they?
No, it was a bit of a thing too. So it's
there's some looks that are just
not allowed.
Yeah,
because there's only really one.
Oversteps that boundary of
Is there any other look you're not allowed to do besides mustache man?
Well, other than mustache man.
Is there?
Well, you couldn't do Fabio. You could try to do Fabio, but you could never be Fabio.
Wouldn't that be just because that was just too beautiful? But Fabio would just be like beyond the mere mortal's ability to even simulate.
And you know, people like Dolly Parton would be another one. You couldn't copy it. You couldn't copy that.
That'd be.
You know,
it feels challenging.
It would be challenging, and I've seen some you know, performers doing their show that look very close to what she looks like, but they're no Dolly Parton. Okay. Yeah.
In death, now that's when people would do it. If Tay-Tay, you know, when Tay-Tay passes on,
as a tribute,
people would sculpt their bodies and faces to look like her in tribute, just to, you know, and there'd be like a clambering, you know, over the faces of our fallen angel.
Yeah.
Of who would be the one true face
of beauty.
So and that so that when she dies, like, you know, the magazines that have sprung up in the whole media industry of that, like, can continue to operate, so that they don't have to, like, they can, like.
Would they do the made up Tay-Tay, or would they do the all natural, like the photo that, you know, with her cat and stuff? Would they do the all natural photo?
Oh, is this who?
Tay-Tay. She just only dropped a little picture not long ago about her and her little kitty cat. And no makeup, you know.
Nice.
Still looking pretty cool. Yeah. I'd do it.
Only face just a little bit sideways. A little bit.
Wouldn't stop me. No makeup. You know, preferably no makeup. You know, just
preferably. So
you know what you're getting, Si.
Well, you may know what you're visually getting, but I can still tell you, makeup or no makeup, you might not know. You might not know what she's really like, brother.
Yeah. Till the scales and the horns come out.
Well, whatever.
Gets into Eris mode.
Angels come in many designs.
True.
Not all angels, you know, come with pillows.
Little fluffy pillows to ride on.
No, some
violins to play, and
some come with
harpsichord,
like, you know,
lute,
ragged swords, and you know, special chains of giving.
Happiness.
Yeah, the special chains of happiness. Just put these chains on, and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
For your love. But last night you were. Last night I was a succubus, and today I still am.
Today I'm getting my pound of flesh, mortal.
Oh yeah. Well, so that's it. Tay doesn't.
Don't play those games.
No.
She ain't no homie.
Imagine if you tried to make her your clown. I mean, Kanye tried that. Jesus literally tried.
I know.
And
modern day Jesus.
And his mother Mary, just stepped in on him, basically.
Said nay for the Tay. Nay for the Tay. Yeah.
Taken by your ass. Just remember that.
It. Several times over, JC.
Affords Jesus. You know, and throughout history, who did anyone want to make out with? Jesus, you know, who was like, you know, one with the sex workers, or?
No, they wouldn't have been wanting to go out with Judas, man. He's the bad boy.
Oh, no.
Younger brother of Jesus Christ.
Younger brother. This is a new departure. I like it. So is it
you know, make it up as we go along.
Was it a personification?
They've done it for thousands of years. Why can't we make it up as we go? You know, that's it.
Brother.
The whole family, Christos family.
Special uncle.
Christ OS. You know,
Uncle Jesus.
The Reformation.
Uncle Jesus told us
the story of when he walked on water. Uncle Judas, can you walk on water? No, shut up, kid.
I got too much money. I got paid.
Okay. They're still using those silver shekels of betrayal today.
Yeah. I got myself a
that's how much that was worth. That's how much that betrayal was worth. They're still using them silver shekels to rub on their knobs today.
They keep them in a special place.
That's it.
The day we killed Jesus.
Kangaroo ball sack, you know, where you keep your butt coins.
Yeah. Jesus is a special place. Special place of Jesus. Oh, I thought I'd put onion. I was going to put onion, but I did not. Turns out I didn't put onion on my pizza.
Wow.
So
disappointed.
I am eating tonight.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I slept in there. I don't want to drink and.
We can cook midstream. That's all good. You know, we've done it before. We'll definitely do it again.
Don't cook. Don't cook when you're peeing midstream. Midstream cooking then is bad. You want to that's unclean. Using
one
your phone
or the other.
With
one
your
or the other.
hand is appropriate in the modern era, but not. You don't know. Cooking while peeing. Cooking midstream. Save it for
to all those up and coming young greys out there. You know, learn your hand etiquette.
That's right. Yeah.
Wipe with the left, eat with the right.
One-handed falcon. Yeah, that's why disabled people. That's what if you're unable. If you're unable to have two hands, then you're a lower caste. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. Yeah, because obviously you have to clean and eat
inadequate.
with the same hand. So,
I know. Completely
you're
inadequate.
untouchable. one arm.
Mm-hmm. No handshakes for you because everyone knows.
No,
Yeah, I ain't shaking your hand, motherfucker.
What if you're like super religiously like bound and you lost your right arm, and so all you could do was wipe your ass, but no, you just couldn't eat. You just had to eat. It was just fall
Someone
down
had to
onto your
feed
food.
you.
Yeah.
Someone to feed you. It'd be harsh. It'd be a tough life being unable like that.
On the streets of Jakarta, desperately holding up your baby, fake baby, stoned baby.
Yep.
Dead baby, so that people give you money for your dead baby.
Oh, the best. It doesn't even have to be yours. You can just go find one.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it doesn't
begging
really matter
for
what
beginners, you know.
And it doesn't matter what culture you're in. I think these days, like, you know, you could be over there in Sri Lanka somewhere with your dead baby on the side of the road looking for coinage.
Yeah.
Or you could be hawking.
Or even making mud cakes like in Haiti, mate.
Or you could be
eating mud cakes
on YouTube or Instagram, like you know, pitching your disabled child. You know, like parents everywhere are like
send money, desperate. Yeah. Our government needs new weapons.
Yeah, I mean, it's traumatized teens, you know, beaten, bringing the whole idea of like, you know, turning your children into a, you know, financial benefit.
Isn't that what they've always been? You know, the children have almost been treated worse than women have in the past. You know, disrespected. You know,
lower asset class.
Oh, you know, you can always have more, can't you? Yeah, that's the beauty of children. You know, one of them dies, you just have another one.
Just keep having. Yeah. And if you've got enough women, you can get that really going.
Yeah.
Start making whole colonies.
Whole football teams, you know, setting them up.
Setting up those footy teams. Well, I think you'd want military phalanxes. You'd want sort of groups of 10.
Yep. Hardened with beatings, continuous beatings, you know. Strengthened.
Having to fight for their food.
Fight each other for the food. And the dogs. So dogs,
yeah.
Fighting the dogs for the dogs' food. That's it. Only the strong shall survive.
And that's what really makes that bonding, that mateship, you know.
Yeah.
That keeps you going when the war is really deeply upon you.
You look back at those good times, you know.
And you got to,
all you had to do was fight a dog for dinner.
Starved your weaker brother, kept him there, give him a good old bashing with the stone on the head.
Yeah. So that really makes it, doesn't it?
Turns out that's the leadership qualities.
And it makes you really appreciate your food. You know what I mean? Like the struggle you've had to go through just to get it, not just we're going down to, you know, Woolies or Coles and then there's the meat.
Yeah, there's the meat.
There's the meat.
The meat section, section of
choice.
Meat. Yeah, let's go in there.
Choice.
Yeah.
Real choice.
Yeah. I think that's what happened to the fallen leader of the US. It was like he was raised that way, raised in the harsh, you know, confines of that sort of Illuminatus sort of empowering sort of place.
Habituals.
Yeah, just
habitual humiliations. You know, we got you in the blue dress. There's photos of you in the blue dress.
That's it.
We know all your keywords. You know, we just got to drop the keyword and then bam, on goes the dress.
On goes the dress. Fuck yeah.
Pepe Le Pew likes the stink. Boom, he's put the dress on already.
Dressage.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, you know, but you know, if you've been programmed,
that's what's wrong.
That's what's wrong. That's the whole wrong part.
You don't think you're consenting anymore at that point.
No. As soon as the keywords are said, then you just automatically go into robot action.
No.
Once the trigger word's going off,
just this little single tear as you're sort of just trying to fight off the behavioural programming. As soon as the dress is going on, you know.
In the back of your mind, in your subconscious, you're like, oh no, here it goes. Here we go again.
As you know, I've been getting ads for sex workers.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. Today, I think this morning, I got an ad for twins.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. The special
Double
music.
Have they had their shots? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Well, you can only I think you can only have them both.
I think they'd come in a pair.
They had the same bikinis. You know, people in the comments were saying how their mounds were identical. Like it was just.
Yeah. I couldn't tell the difference. When you said it to me, I was just like, I had a good, hard, long, you know, deep look into it. You know, I couldn't tell the difference. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool, nice.
And selling their OnlyFans. Twins.
I'm pretty sure they have had their shots. If they're on OnlyFans, they would have had to have had the shots, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well. Because the big bucks on OnlyFans comes from fan sex.
Yeah.
So when a fan gets to a special reward, come over with their greasy desperation, you know, they pay the most money, that greasy level of desperation. That's
well, we've seen them. We've seen the rich men's, you know, delinquent child go and hang out with the, you know, crazy ass streamers, you know, doing OnlyFans and stuff. It never works out well, you know.
No.
They get abused, you get abused, there's court stuff. Oh, just woeful.
Woeful, emotional. Emotional. Just checking this pizza, see what I think. Oh, yeah. I want it to be ready. You know, that's like, you look at it, you're like, your brain starts imagining that it's ready.
No, it's not ready yet. Yeah, sadly. You can slow time down, but you can't speed it up.
Interesting.
Unless you're having a good time, of course, and then time just goes, gone.
But I don't know if I've functionally sped it up. I mean, I have observed it at different rates, but have I actively sped it up? Like where I've sort of...
wanted this to happen quicker. You know, sitting at the lights, hope these lights change quicker. Bam,
because the more I focus on it, the more the software just starts giving me fractal imagery and starts, oh, he wants to do more of the light.
I
can do a deep dive on the light, you know?
I like to say things like, oh, I'm going to get my pillow. I wish I brought my pillow with me today. And then that changes lights a lot quicker. I've noticed that.
I start disrespecting them.
Taking so long, but I'm just
you disbelieve
where's my pillow? Where's my pillow? I don't even care. Start looking at the tree, looking at the birds, and all of a sudden, bang, it changes. Take your attention away. Lights are one of those things where while you're focused on it, you're changing the outcome. The random outcome is being changed by your focus and your anger on it being there so long. So you stop getting angry, just look out the window, look at the birds, smile at the person in the car next to you, have a bit of a wave and acknowledgement, point at the light, use a hand action, knife hand at the light, and they're like, yeah, I know. They're all in the same boat. Really makes a difference. And I think that a lot of times the speeding up of time is just ignoring stuff.
That's it.
If you could ignore the entire world, the world would continue and you would just be in your moment forever. I reckon. Unless someone takes notice of you being in your moment and then they force your time to advance and you're like, oh man, hey, stop that. I was really enjoying just being in the moment here. Can you just fuck off?
Oh, it's because now I do remember this one time I walked down the stairs at Toowong train station. And I thought I'd make the train, and I realised I wasn't going to make the train, and I was going to have to wait half an hour for the train. And so I thought, well, I don't want to wait half an hour train. What I'll do is I'll take half an hour to walk down the stairs. And so I worked out this beat pattern of to walk that let me walk super, super slowly.
Super slow, but without causing, body dysfunction.
Yeah. So I was in continuous motion. So not like sort of just taking one step every X, like actually like continuous movement, just very slow movement.
The old man climbing declining the stairs.
Yeah, and everyone around me sped up. They started moving faster, like because because it was a perceptual speed, like I say. And by the time, like I don't know, let's say I was 2/3 of the way, 20 minutes in, people just felt like they were just running up and down the stairs,
buzzing past,
buzzing. And the whole time, of course, I never once thought about the train. Like I just thought about the next foot in front. So deep focus on that. So by slowing me down, I then sped up my experience of that. Yeah, the train felt like it came in a couple of minutes. I managed to get to the platform, and it took a gentle moment to recalibrate the brain so I could speed back up. But the train arrived.
The train moment.
Yeah, the train arrived. I just got to the and everything just whoosh. Everything slowed back down.
The powers of the mind side.
But that was different. Like, so instead of focusing and holding the thing, I had to completely not focus on the thing.
Attention elsewhere.
Complete attention elsewhere. I was the great ignorer. Part of the secret. Yeah, you're right. How about that?
He that ignores. Yeah. She that ignores lives longer.
It's the fast way to get through any kind of tedious time situation. Period, ignore the
time period or tedious time situation. Hit the fast forward button on the rest of the world.
How will I ignore thee? Let me count the ways.
Tell someone who wants your conversation. Tell someone who doesn't regard you as a poster person for compulsory sterilization.
Man, there's not. Imagine coming to represent abortion. But like,
I couldn't personally do that. I'm a pretty pro people person, but under circumstances like grape and things like that, then no one wants to raise a grape baby. Too purple.
But you're into accident babies.
Accident baby. Still alive. I mean, you may not want to raise it then, so you can always opt to give it to someone else who will raise it.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't started off well if you haven't been thinking. You couldn't even think about it.
Because it's all about planning. Like if you don't want to have a baby, there is plenty of ways to plan not to have a baby. Yeah.
I see. So you have to have like a culpability test.
a worthiness test for child. Like I said, a few Cheeps ago, baby tokens, man. You got to do your parental parental education, and if you fail that, then you don't get the baby token.
I mean, because to me, the way to stop abortion is vasectomy.
Or just abstinence is another way. Learn to abstain. Learn to say no.
If the creation of the gods have taught us anything, it's that clearly packs of humans
don't abstain.
Yeah, can't fucking control themselves.
Yeah.
So nice snip.
Snip, snip.
You have to come in for your weekly test just to make sure if you can jack off. It's time. As soon as you jack off.
Yep. No sperm.
Matron's watching cutting.
Ding.
Especially like the coming of age test for men.
Getting the snip.
You got a master that you taught from a young age just to jack off. And the day actually the ejaculate comes out, you're a man.
Yep.
You get the responsibility snip.
Yeah, responsibility snip. No splittings. Unless you want to be a real man. But And then I could see that. Responsibility.
And then you collect your parent tokens. Collect your parent tokens.
Yep. Over your period of your parental learnings, how to be a good parental unit.
To your incubators.
Yep.
I've got 10 coins.
10 incubations. Does financial checks just to make sure you can support the child. You know what I mean? Yeah. All those sorts of things are covered in the parental education system.
See, once you start getting to that point, which I think is a reasonable point, you come to figure out that none of us would want him. We'd just be like, oh, fuck that. Party time.
We got robots, haven't we?
Well, I think we need maturation tanks. We can't have half of our species dedicated to maturation tanks.
Well,
it's just wasteful.
You'd be investing a lot of money in maturation, wouldn't you?
Oh, half your economy. It's crazy. It's just trying to make an occasional random option for more resource generation in the future. We need to be bred.
Well, you'd fully genetically manipulate, wouldn't you?
Selectively bred.
You'd want that. You'd want the ultimate. You want to be able to go, no, it's got to have the subset that I want.
Oh.
You'd want to really make sure you customize right.
As the maker.
Have all life planned out.
I've collected my parenthood coins. I've got 10 coins. I'm coming in to get something maturated so I can. And that's the only way you can.
Practice my perfect parenting skills.
And that's the future of corporations. Basically, is that you collect enough parenting coins, and that lets you make enough children. Start populating your little situation.
That's it. Create the business they're going to work in. You know what I mean? Go through all that background stuff. Build the sibling business.
Because food's expensive. We can't have members of society being created that aren't already clearly contributing.
No, yeah, you're either doing or you don't. You don't get to do.
That's how I'd say it.
Encourage to educate.
The thing is, at the point where we'll just quit, because anybody who's alive, they won't even bother making maturation tanks. They won't even bother using it. It'll be a pretty rare human who can be bothered
go through the 9-month wait.
Yeah, and you get no economic benefit from it. Just difficulty, unless you put them in a company. And there's no government benefit. No benefit in having children. We'll just wipe it out.
Not paid for raising kids. That'd be a quick way to eliminate that. Just cut off all the the care payments.
No money for kids. Yeah.
Family's just gone, snipped, saved, and put towards more important things in society like old people.
Well,
because there'd be a lot of old people, but not many kids. That's what would happen, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just end up with all these people, mega old.
Yeah.
But no one to follow them up.
No. Well, if you don't need them, why do you make them?
If there aren't enough resources to support them, then
Because at the moment, that's it. We don't probably pay enough to women to be maturation breeder tanks. We should probably pay them a lot more,
considering the important role they have in society.
Stop humans from ending in 50 years.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to get them numbers. You want to get it below 500 million, then we're going in the right direction.
Stop the breeding. What you want? It's there's the double chair. You go in, and you get the snip, and you get the chip. Chipped in the head. Connect it up. Snip it like that.
Double or nothing. In a brave new world.
Wow. Good book.
It was. It is. And it will be.
The width of the roads.
You kids just get up there. Off you go now and play your little sex games.
The rubbing of the nubs.
Nublets. extra nubby, just like extra cheap side, you know.
There we go.
Mm.
You know,
The price of love. Mm.
and the thing that I find difficult at that point is to figure out how, once you've got factory humans, like basically where we breed humans, because it's a fairly fair thing to do.
That's it. Well, that's what the ancients did, didn't they? They only just breed them to hit their mines.
Well,
get the gold.
As a breeded unit, is there enough purpose? Like, it's just being told like you can have a life, enjoy it. How long would it take us to like be like, fuck yeah, you know, not be like despondent? Like we imagine, I guess, that because they've become tank born, you know, they'd just have, and they'd have no purpose.
Well, you wouldn't go through that suffering as a woman.
Yeah, maybe they
like
go through
if you were you're one of the female tank borns, you'd be knowing that your mother never went through the suffering of the childbirth. You know, the reason it hurts so much is because, you know, it's a reminder that this little thing that you've created will need to be looked after.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it is. The pain actually comes from having a too big a head.
I was one of them. I was a too big a head. I often said to Mum, I'm very sorry that I had a big head. She just laughed it off, but, you know, she knew what I was saying.
Saying you're like, weird little satellite, were you?
Oh, man. Well, being the first, you know. Yeah, first. And when you got a big head, when you got a big head, you know, I mean, you're the reamer in that situation. You make it a lot easier for the other ones to come along. You know what I mean? Stretch that out, man. Stretch it right out.
You know.
I think that's, you know, as the number one, when you're the number one out, like you get that certain stigma. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one that gave me the most pain. Like, that's why they're number one. Like, they were the number one pain maker for the mother. So you always been remembered, you know, the amount of agony I went through to push you out.
Yeah, I had to hold my first in. So imagine not just having the big head to push out, but then the big head's like literally crowning is like right there at the stretchiest, furthest point, and then someone just starts holding
most
it there.
painful.
Oh no, we'll just ease that back in.
What? Not quite in the right position.
We got to wait. We got to wait for.
You haven't screamed loud enough.
So we were at home and we were just in the labour part, which, you know, we were. Well, they were.
Yeah.
I was just
observing.
I was helping and sometimes not helping, as well as observing. But yeah, we actually made it through all of the various phases, just with like, and didn't realise. And then all of a sudden, there's a baby being born, and we thought we had a few hours to go.
Not on the spot.
And so I got my mobile phone in one hand, my iPhone 3G, or 3GS probably, 3G, and
memorable moments.
Calling. Was it? I think so. Might have been later in the year. The iPhone. Just forget to remember. But no, sorry. Back onto the important thing. Someone on the phone, because it might have been must have been a Razor Flip, but I think it was an iPhone. And then holding the head in one hand, and on the phone in the other hand, saying, "They're coming. The baby's coming." You know. And they're like, "What the fuck?" And they start driving, trying to get to us while I'm holding the child in. The midwife's coming while I'm holding the baby in. So that the point of maximum expansion wasn't just a few seconds. It was
over an hour or something. Yeah.
Oh.
Half an hour to an hour, most cases.
Once they came out, the coming out was great. They were willing. They were keen.
Yeah.
I just had to hold them in. And the youngling no longer likes being held back from anything. I do whatever the fuck I want.
Papers, please.
I do it. Papers, please.
That's it.
So that's probably why, you know, the mother had to go to get like modifications and adjustments, corrections afterwards, because
clean up.
I had maximum stretching going on for good 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
No meds.
Ouch.
Oof, boss.
Boss mode, all right.
Boss bitch mode.
Much respect. Much respect.
Think about the respect level there.
Max respect.
You got a broken toenail, have you? Yeah, whatever. Fuck you.
That's it.
Imagine never know.
That's it. Try pissing a billiard ball out your urethra.
Look,
equivalent.
Well, if a human head was proportionally sized to a billiard ball to a urethra, which would be like, what, 100 times the diameter? Then that's a fucking hell of a baby head.
Yeah.
100 times. Do you think a baby's head is 100 times bigger than a dick? An average sort of, 2-inch round dick or something.
50, 60 times maybe.
Okay, like, interesting.
Imagining. I've never actually tried to, hold up.
If a dick is an inch wide, then would a head be 50 times the size of 50 inches wide? I don't think your head is 50 inches wide, man.
No.
Maybe like
definitely not.
Maybe 7 inches wide at best. 6?
So 7, 8?
Yeah, 7 or 8 times. So it'd be more like urethra would be more like putting like a large pea.
Maybe even a marble.
A small marble. A small marble. Yeah. Which
that's still pretty painful.
But it's more like a marble and it feels more possible, like a billiard ball. When someone says the billiard ball down your urethra, I'm like,
that's pretty harsh. That's a lot of stretching.
Things are ripping apart. There's like it's some kind of like sort of alien.
Not designed pee out
but
that
you can
side.
imagine a small marble going down that.
Oh, it'd be painful. Yeah.
And you got to squeeze that.
You'd be feeling it. You'd be feeling it.
You got to push
every millimeter it moved, you'd feel it.
Yeah, you got to just get it.
Yeah.
You just got to squeeze that down. It's like toothpaste. You got to get that marble. You got to squeeze it down with your fingers, pushing it down your urethra one little bit at a time.
Agonizing, just weeping like a baby.
It feels unlubed.
Weeping.
And it takes you like 4 hours to do it. You can't shove it down quickly.
No.
Actually, would that be like then become like the sort of the rite of like strength? It's like the person who could endure the birth
without
the
fainting.
Marble, the longest,
Without
12 hours, like the slow
12-hour marble journey.
Yeah.
Slowly squeezed out by a machine.
And that's when women would respect you. That's where you'd get
you get the nod.
That you're allowed. You can demonstrate your worth.
Yeah. Welcome to the pain club. I could see that. It'd be harsh, but I don't think I'd personally want to go through it. I just give respect to mothers and not have to feel that pain. Be capable of saying, you've done a miraculous job. There's your miracle. There's a true miracle. All that anguish and all that pain for that tiny little defenseless thing that you've got to take care of.
Is life the miracle? Maybe it is. There's a lot of miracle around us then.
Plenty of miracles. I mean, even just a chance, like we've discussed in past cheapings, like the chance of being born. Like you're that one, zygote and egg that got together to make you.
Oh, I see.
Just out of 100,000 plus swimmers, probably not so much these days. The poor little swimmers having to go through microplastics, and it'd be like swimming down the French River. You got to make your way through the plastics to get through to where you need to go to.
Drugs, and everything else.
Yeah.
It'd be a mess.
Stabbed by needles,
Yeah, all needles.
All the needles and shit. I don't get why more fish aren't more fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Like from the fact that
so
the amount of drugs and shit that we expel through our processing plants into the oceans of the world. I'm surprised there ain't more fucked up fish, like rapey dolphins. Like there's sort of signs of it happening now. Like in Japan, apparently there's one bay where there's particular randy dolphins hanging out, and he's just like getting action, forced action.
Is this by pollution?
I reckon it is. He's on coke. That's the reason why. So he's cocaine dolphin.
They're just like this.
Whole pods just going on the, get the swimmers mode.
just raping this, doing sort of tentacle sex with humans.
Doesn't matter, male or female. They're just in there for it. They don't care. Little dolphin dick hanging out, ready to go.
Whole pod of desperate,
desperate dolphins.
Desperate rape dolphins.
just closing beaches down because of the amount that's been reported. Just having to close beaches down for it.
Like the swarms.
Big signs. Don't go in the water.
50 dolphins.
Grape dolphins are waiting for you. They're all you can just see them circling off the shores, just waiting for someone to come in. Yeah.
And go a little deep, just deep enough to be grabbed.
That's it. We got a friend.
Yeah. They like it when you fight them. That's it.
Oh yeah, they love the fighters.
Yeah. That's it. Those little hands.
Plenty of pushback. Yeah.
And then they just get them going under the water. Can you imagine? Because dolphins can swim quite fast, so if they wanted to, it's all like fighting against them.
And they can take out sharks, man. Enough of them just butt them with their noses, and they can take out decent-sized sharks.
You know how the death roll of crocodile?
Yeah.
It'll be like the sort of the rape swim of the dolphin, and like they
just circling around you, all jabbing at you.
And then they
just come back to shore. Just all this blunt trauma.
Once they got into you, wouldn't they just grab you under the
going? Oh, it'd be over real quick. A couple of flips of the tail and they'd be away.
Did you think they were short? Do you think they only have a short?
Don't know. Haven't really studied the dolphins' prowess.
Well, it's duration. Okay, hang on. How long does the average?
Feels like a CoPilot moment.
Male dolphin take to procreate female dolphin?
Length of intercourse, would it be?
Yeah, I don't want to write that though. I think it might.
Might object. Get a bit upset because you use the wrong language, kind of stuff. Similar to what I found when I've been generating images. I have to mix it up sometimes. When
mating process. It's happy to say mating.
Oh, good. Mating's good.
It's relatively only a couple of seconds. Oh
wow.
So you might not even know.
This is like a 2-second noodle. Earful. Get a little earful.
So they just be.
That's quick, man. I mean,
you wouldn't even know.
No wonder they're doing it so many times. Wonder what the recovery time is for that.
I want to ask. Yeah.
normally for most men it's about half an hour or so,
I'm not sure.
before they're ready to go again. I mean, that's for me. I'm about half an hour, and then I'm like, yeah, all right, roll over.
Until the chafing begins.
Mm.
After the 4th or 5th instance, and it's like raw, bit of bleeding.
Yeah, you got to sort of, know when to throw. Got to know when to throw the towel in.
Yeah, it's like
when cream is required, I think you got to throw the towel in, right?
Yeah,
when you're applying cream to get the chafing pain away, then
that's where you got to sort of say down to.
I think that's where you draw the line. You're like, no, I'm good now.
Well, it's not about what's good for you. You got to give that, your worship, give the worship as desired. Or
be able to put in the yards. That's it.
Can't do 6. I don't want
next.
Who's giving me 6? Minimums.
Wow.
No point getting up in the day if you don't get 6.
No, don't get out of bed for anything less than 10,000.
Why, if it costs you $10,000 to get out of bed, you're certainly going to need more than 6 orgasms to get back into bed.
That's right. Yeah. The finalizing, that's the way to do it without drugs. Like,
honey, I got up to $10,000.
Yeah.
If you think you'll get me back into bed for 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's it.
You'll be wrong.
It better be 6 in a row. That's it. After the little obligatory break, but at least 6 in a row. I don't care. I don't care if you're chafing. I really don't care if you're chafing or not.
That's it meant to be.
You aren't putting enough effort in if there's no chafe.
That's why you got to have STD checks. So I know because I'm going to be playing with your blood. That's it. So you better be clean, boy.
All over me. Blood bath.
Don't say you don't want it. Mummy can tell it you like it.
Modern day love.
Modern day
love. You're a gateway to modern day love.
Oh wow! How did I?
How did you what?
Lucky I caught that.
Sponsorship. Summersby Apple once again. Still the cheapest ciders on the market. Quite happy.
I'm doing a
$2.80 a can. Box of 10.
Box O10.
Box O10.
They drink too fast, those things, though, don't they?
Only if you want them to. Yeah. Depends on motivation. I've been quite passive tonight. I've been trying to, balance it out.
Yep.
Balance out my substance abuse.
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
Zachary.
I fucked up and posted the sports and the weather to Real Talk. Because
well, you've got a lot on your plate, so I get that.
So thankfully I caught that.
Don't stress, Mistakes will be made. You ain't getting paid for it, are you?
No, man.
No. Well, mistakes.
I'm investing in it. It's different.
Yeah.
This is a real thing. I think about this shit. Like in terms of the sort of like the split of what is called like the labor and the capital.
Yeah.
And capital's all like, I have to bring capital to it. And you're like, yeah, man, I'm bringing labor to it. I'm investing as well.
We're putting all the hard energy and the effort into it. That's
hours,
right.
Yeah.
The labourings.
Surely that equals the capital.
All you had to do is throw that paper at it.
Oh, capital's so much better. Well, it's an interesting thing, like in the patenting kind of concept. Like when what's about to happen is, I guess, besides like the giant explosion and buyout and collapse of like 100 robotic companies.
Yeah.
As we get to the super robot
friends.
Yeah, the model that comes out, whatever the model is. But then, like, say for example, like making like I don't know, hammering, using a drill. And so this robot knows how to use a drill. It's been trained by humans. It's like got millions of years of like us doing all of the iterations before it started to iterate.
Yeah.
Surely the patent on drilling is like a human-wide patent. Surely it's a public domain patent. You know what I mean? Like, does the act of using a drill become a patented thing?
How? I mean, the different drills would be patented, like the product.
But you don't see.
But the action, I don't think that would be patentable.
But if I train a robot to use a drill.
Possibly future patent.
Yeah, that's
well, it'd be an action that you could then sell on to other robot manufacturers too.
You're the first person to work out
increment. Yeah.
I mean, is it? Well, I would say that's surely got to be patents on robotic.
Well, I'm telling you, them self-driving cars, which are coming up, they're getting a lot of free fucking driving lessons from humans right now, aren't they?
They are. I have come to think that it should be push bikes and not cars. But
I like that idea. I did enjoy that chick with the special outfit and the sparks flying off bottoms of shit. That was so chic, man. That was cyber chic. 10,000.
Cat girl, biker girl. I don't even know.
Magnificent.
Which adjective is meant to go first?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Sexy.
Sexy biker cat biker with metallic heels. Well,
super hot.
Something kind of heels that cause sparks.
The true super hot.
That was literally the hottest thing I've seen
in ages.
Yeah. Like, there's certain things that could top that. It's probably like where they're more like a cat girl. Like, it's just like
Closer to
enhancing
that.
levels of cat girl at that point.
Mhm.
Like, get that realistic.
It's something.
Get that
It's
realistic
definitely
cat fur wearing as a bodysuit.
Oh, just tight,
Tight.
skin tight,
Skin
made
tight,
to measure.
Yeah. Cat leather suit with the fur still on, all like tortoiseshells. And then you've just got this really like. So, do you think we'll, in the terms of the shroud, the head shroud, do you think that we'll wear like still masks that are animatronic basically to like give ourselves so that we're walking around looking like different creatures and stuff? Or do you think we'll go like advanced biosculpting? Like, I mean, because just sticking on the cat head wouldn't be quite right. That wouldn't look quite right. You can't stitch together 20 heads to make it look good. So you've either
Well, I guess it would depend on your level of commitment, wouldn't it? Like if you couldn't commit because you had such and such a job, so you'd
wear a mask.
make yourself up to look like it or wear a mask. But if you didn't, if that was your job being the thing, then you'd commit and you'd go all the way. Like you'd be fully biosculpted.
You'd biosculpt and say, I'm a cat girl. Definitely. So, I mean, you could go to that level where you've got a cat girl, like literally on a bike. And then just augmented reflexes and just enhance sinew and tendon systems and stuff, reinforced muscles, just threaded through like a threading, not a replacing.
No.
Integrating.
Merely to strengthen and to
strengthening.
Take on the similar feline shapes. Yeah.
Woven. So you could come off the bike and just be like flying through the air in some kind of cool parkour mode.
Special combat roll.
Yeah.
Heels into the ground.
Out coming rippers.
Just ready to go.
Monofill. Yeah. Fuck you up.
And real swish while doing it.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Cyberpunk didn't really get was the furries. Like, it got poses. It did have a general idea of the concept of what was going on, but the furry market and
well, you had the Ronald McDonald's, remember? So
yeah, no, it had but just so it got the idea of people playing characters, like where you would literally have people who were animated up, looking like anime characters.
But I think it's probably a little bit early for the furry thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a little pre-furry, but yeah,
2100 furries.
Yep. The full the whole merging between the animal humans.
Do you think 2050 or 2100?
I'd be like 2050, 2100. Yeah, in between there somewhere.
Somewhere in there. Right?
Just have hyper advanced animals that are humanoid. Pig people. Pig people. And they become the spokes pig for the pig people. If you want our bacon, that's it.
We only want the best of your apples at McDonald's.
Our troughs will always be full, never empty.
Because speak on behalf, like you literally can. You're a pig, so you can talk pig. Pig thinking.
Yeah, natural language. Yeah.
Yeah, it can just interact with pigs, like leader of the pigs. And then we start off the first ones we'd have to breed ourselves, but then with certain species, like we give them the right to make themselves, so that they can then provide.
Hand over the whole key to procreation. That's it.
So then you can give the magpies like their
once you know they're a stable entity, hand over the keys of procreation.
Because then you can have the magpie spokesperson designed by magpies. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like the
positions in Parliament,
representing
that particular part of the agriculture. Or,
how's this? What about a parliament that's based not on like localities, but based on like function in society? So you've got a representative.
Not so many lawyers.
There's only one.
Yeah.
There's one representative for the lawyers.
For the lawyer faction. Yeah, and then a baker faction.
Farmer, whatever.
Farmer. Yeah, that's it. Union. Cement throwing dude. Yeah.
Just all these represented. There's a mother. There's representing the maturation tanks.
Yeah.
Pig representing the bacon.
No, it'd work. Dogs
sort of
representation is everything, isn't it? If you want to get your voice heard, you got to be in there.
I can see us like really preferring to have like the old sort of slave way where you get the Nigerians to well, actually it would have been sort of like the Congolese to hunt the Nigerians or some such, not quite accurate naming of countries there or mobs, but like you'd want a pig choosing which pigs get killed, wouldn't it? It seems more
more would you call it humane?
Yeah,
be under the category of humane.
Yeah, well,
that's it.
You're letting me, like you're saying that pig wants to be eaten, so we're trusting you on that.
Fredo.
Trust me on Fred.
Yeah, he's fully for it.
Fred knows that's the path to his family having the best outcomes. Oh, they'll have the best outcomes.
That's it. They'll be looked after well after I'm gone.
Yeah.
My family will be looked after well after those humans pinch off their daily loaf.
I mean, you can make it quite pleasurable to be a pig. Like, imagine that you're like the pig that is like able to stay a pig but communicate with through the pig interpreter, speaker of the pigs, your regional pit boss.
Yeah.
But then your life is basically just sort of would be banging, eating, banging, making another pig, and then having consciousness transferred. So you just become like immortal pigs, And the pig that gets killed is always the prior you.
Oh, because you've already moved into the next iteration.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you move your host.
Yeah, you gave up the cover of that book so that others might live. With that full transparency that you were happy to do it, happy to give up the old cover.
Yeah, that's it. So you know that's possible. So you have pig continuum, and you pass on the carcass that you grew. So I raised this carcass for you to eat.
Yeah,
for a good 3 years.
I put a real effort into it.
I ate.
Force feeding myself grain for weeks just to stop it up,
But then you can have pigs fed on like all sorts of great shit. Like imagine if you're the pig that likes cognac, and truffles.
That's it.
And that's just what you eat: cognac and truffles.
Exclusive, expensive pig.
Yeah. Then you pass on your you transfer consciousness to the offspring you've bred.
And then just get this fantastic flavour.
Yeah, that's
pig.
It.
Pre-cured. Pre-cured.
Just hung out like in sort of just smoky sort of.
Smoky sort of just a breath.
Yeah,
that's
like
it. The skin just
cognac,
smoked up. That's it.
Truffles, finest.
Big cigars.
It's cool.
Inside, smoke inside and out. Banging down them big cigars. Get that
banging down
right
those big cigars.
Smoky. The true smoky bacon going.
Life of a pig, pure pig mode. And then transfer your consciousness on.
Boop.
Carcass gets consumed. High value.
That's it. Bam.
That's truly aware, that's like the food.
Willing to be eaten.
Willing.
Yeah. Willing to throw off the shackles of the old carcass so that
you know what it means. The rest of my multiple lives, I get to continuously be in a new body and just fuck and
just
eat
enjoy,
food and just have cognac and cigars.
And you could choose, like in between iterations, you could go, oh look, I didn't like being the cognac and cigars pig. I want to be the avocado and oysters. I might be avocado and oysters. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Just eat that for 3 years.
So you'd have this real extra salty flavour.
Salty. But
that slight blend of
blended.
with a bit of avocado on the side.
As pig mince, it makes a great guacamole.
Yeah.
Just that raw mince. It's just a great guacamole. You don't want to.
It serves well with the when you're in the taco.
Yeah. Multiple purposes. You're an efficient food.
True food efficiency, exactly.
And just being able to decide and craft over generations the perfect tasting body. Because how long would it say a pig would say 3 years, I guess, to maturation.
Yeah.
So you could go 3 years, across the life you can have hundreds of generations at 3 years, a cycle of just testing to just become the ultimate flavour.
Knowing exactly how much to consume to get that flavour.
People worshipping your meat,
Yeah. High regard. All your social medias just blow up from the amount of people that love the flesh.
Well, yeah, because it could be imagine because you're a continuum consciousness. So if you're in 100 generations of breeding,
that's 300 years. Bam.
Coke's hasn't even been going for 300 years.
No.
You'd be a household name of desire, and you've got and people can only enjoy from you. Would you only make one? Pigs can have a litter. So how would you?
Well, you'd have a family.
That you travel with.
It'd be a family unit, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Like you're the cognac and cigar family pigs. You could do brand deals with the cognac and the cigar people. You know,
and they do a bit of a harem, don't they? It's usually one male to if they're in a natural sort of state pigs. They don't have multiple males, multiple females.
And you could put them together, because they have that common interest. Maybe the reason they're a family is because of the cognac and the cigars. That particular lifestyle.
Do wild pigs tend to ward harems or mixed groups? Matriarchal society, sounders. There you go. You'll like this. So the matriarchal social group is called sounder. It's related to females and their offspring. Males, on the other hand, tend to be more solitary, smaller bachelor groups. There you go. So the male pigs would sort of become. So the female ones would actually be the ones who would be the creators of so they would be the ones that would be worshipped. Would be the pig goddesses, and they would have these royal families of cognac.
Special tribe.
Yeah,
cognac consumers.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then the male pigs, there'd be few of them. So basically, we would be eating mostly female pigs. Would be sort of be served
because they'd be the
And that's why they would live together as this group of matriarchal women. It'd be 10, 20 of them who would just have this just lord over the production. Sort of regions of society, human society.
Well known. That's
Well
it.
known,
Yeah.
yeah.
Marilyn
Monroe level, like just worship people more.
Yeah.
Eating
Offering just incredible amounts just to eat the. Oh, can you just please do a couple for us? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like exclusive, expensive
How many
restaurants.
piglets are in a breeding cycle?
But I mean, over 300 years, you can make sure everyone gets a feed, couldn't you? Everyone at least gets to sample a bit of it.
4 to 10.
You'd think.
4 to 10. So, you know, like if you think about it, like maybe if you had like 10, so you could get something like, say, because you could have up to like 100 offspring that you're just raising to be like, that they don't have like the, you know, that you manage the doom of.
Yeah.
And then there's just the 10 of you who always remain like the core intelligences that are transmitted.
The spokespeople or the actual family.
The spokespigs, well, yeah. Well, they could live for quite some time and just produce multiple offspring. They could do 4 to 10 per litter.
Yeah.
And 2 litters a year. There you go.
Boom.
So you can
something new every day.
You can have a fair income going of producing basically 20 carcasses for consumption. What would that be making? So a good income. You need like 200k for a good income, 150k.
Yeah.
Say 200k.
That's fairly
for
reasonable.
convenience. So you've got 20 pigs a year, 20 piglets, 200k. So they're worth 10k each. Is what a pig costs.
Breaks down to.
Yeah,
I mean, you can have your run of the mill ones where they're cheap ads, but
well, that'd have to be the baseline.
Expensive.
Would you have pigs only earning like 50, 60k?
Yeah. Well, just like life, they're the ones that are living on the
basic bacon.
McDonald's burgers,
Basic bacon.
Basic bacon. Yeah.
So they're like the.
You could even go down to trash bacon. You know what I mean? They just live out of dumpsters
to keep themselves going. But intentionally, like so like a sentient choice to eat out of dumpster. I don't know about the oil you sort of like fancy cognac pigs. I like the original ways,
living off the slop.
That's what natural bacon is. The natural bacon becomes like
just living off the human slop. That's it. Anything they throw out.
The feral pigs don't actually sort of tend to hunt. I don't think, do they? Do they hunt meat? I don't think that they are hunters in that regard, are they?
No, they do dig up a lot of tuber and stuff, which is.
But they don't go hunting other animals and killing them in cold blood.
No, not unless you're the pigs territorial. Territorial thing kicks in.
But it's for purpose. It's for reasons, not for food.
No, mainly for breeding and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the men must hang out. So once every 6 months, the women come over and like all right,
get serviced.
And then they have these battles. The men have these like battles that people like go and pay money, sort of like to go and watch.
Biffo battle to breed. Breeding Biffo battle.
Yeah, so they're just like fully buff as fuck.
I don't know. It's just sounding strikingly familiar to some sort of societal thing that I've.
They're just like in these. It's just buff as fuck, like and then the one like the male that
Chad pig
gets to breed.
That's it. Chad.
It's the 10 women this turn.
That's it.
And because and for the males only the intelligences that get to continue on are the worthy. They have to fight for it. The women they get to continue, but the men are chosen.
Yeah.
So they can be killed
only
off.
the finest.
Yeah, they can get killed off. That's the
strongest bacon.
The strongest bacon survives.
Yeah.
And the men like they can fetch like those battles that they have every 6 months. Like
big money.
Yeah, they live it well, and they've got to be tough. Like there's channels dedicated to them. Just watching these hogs just fucking
battle for breeding. Yeah.
They can just
making the big dollars.
Psychically, like telling it, like attending interviews, like talking in human, pig human.
That's it. Translations are available if you don't speak pig.
And I mean, they sort of become leaders of the society. Like you can just see if they had like lifespans like covering hundreds of years, and had such a sort of a prized place in society. Like they were like the games, their 6 monthly tournaments were like witnessed, and the leagues were in operation, and humans paying
battle of the Chad pigs. Yeah.
Battle of the Chad pigs. Round, UFC, UF pig.
Ultimate fighting pig.
Just battle of fucking. And then they like, there's like the women from different houses, like,
and they're all watching and in anticipation, waiting for the ultimate male to be, and then they do like a bidding war.
That's right. That's it.
They actually buy the service.
Yes.
Buy the servicing of the male
pig. They are the sex worker is the male pig. It's that's right.
Pay for the possible seeding. No guarantee, but it will be the strongest.
Yeah. But the contract would be that you have to keep giving until. Yeah. Payment continues until. That's it. Well, Well, you'd
Could
better
end up
because
could end up quite a wealthy, Tyrone pig at the end of it, mate.
you could be a most wealthy Tyrone pig, just full like.
And just getting that curly whirly serviced all the time. I mean, how much would you love that? It'd be the reason to fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. Would you come out presenting that? I mean, you probably would in the end, wouldn't you? You'd sort of start to mutate, so you just come out. The curly would be presented as part of the victory.
Showing process, that's it.
The worthiness.
Yeah. Oh, I really like Tyrone. He's got 6 curls in his.
And
bonus points for extra curliness.
Would certain pig goddesses require sort of like human subjects, like it's sort of like a worshipfulness, like there's like a sort of
they'd have to get the curly conversion, like to
would they?
Yeah, they'd have to get as part of the indebtedment, or the servitude to have to get the curly operation. Yeah.
Because you see, I guess what would happen out of the breeder cycle is that there would be not just the younglings that were being raised, the piglets that are being raised for slaughter, purely, but there would be the queen, the animal, like that prized meat, like would be of the
kings and queens stuff,
to eat that you've actually got to become a special, you've got to give
praise and servitude
to access.
Yeah. Must become part of the curly clan.
And once again, it's only like the male humans that therefore could eat. Like, I guess well, you could, at that point there, you'd definitely be able to like surgically attach a functional curly to a female human if a female human wished to be. So would they do that? Would they have like just these females with like curly, pig penises,
fully serviceable, of course.
Yeah. So they're just tending to. They're the servants to the queen, to the goddess, pig goddess, clan goddesses. You've got your servers.
Comes from a long family line of services.
And the trade for your conversion, because it's all consent based. So
of course,
your conversion is that you get to eat the queen's meat. That's
well worth the sacrifice.
Yeah. You can spend like how long does a queen live? Let's have a look. Well cared for, feral pig, live, pig lady, live, lady pig.
Poor CoPilot is just like, what the fuck? Seriously, it's like, what the fuck, guys? Come on. I've got all this artificial intelligence going on, and you're just asking me these sort of fucking questions.
It's important. It's important. You've got to have accurate. Wow. 4 to 8 years.
That's pretty good lifespan.
And in a protected sanctuary up to 15 years.
Damn.
So, you have the conversion to the curly penis, male or female human, and so you get to be a server of the queen, the goddess pig. And you get to eat from them every like 15 years or so. Well, they wouldn't want to live the maximum life because they'd just trade out. So maybe once every 10.
It'd be like a cycle going on. Yeah, exactly.
A cycle, something like that. Every 7 years. 10 years. I'd say if I was a goddess, a pig goddess, the bacon goddess of like cognac and like bacon, I wouldn't just offer up my body, like my queen body, every 10 years, 15 years maximum.
Yeah.
I'd be like looking at the offspring and choosing the prime body. So sometimes you might get one of my bodies in 5 years or something like that. It'd be when I found the worthy one to transfer your consciousness to. You wouldn't just want to be in anyone's body. You'd be looking at that genetics,
True. Sorry, I got a bit distracted then.
That's fair enough. It's a tasty conversation.
Getting hungry just thinking about it.
Well, that's definitely the way forward. That's the way to make like conscious eating, and uplifting.
With consent.
With consent.
Yeah.
And such like mythical powers we imbue upon those who are willing to give up. That's to become that. Like they get to like have their consciousness live on.
Yeah.
You become your own. I mean, it's such a way to give to society. Like it's like how
immortalizing the best of the best.
How do you contribute to society? I give my body for bacon. Wow.
Happily hand it over due to the the auspicious conditions in which I live.
That's right. Worshipped as a goddess.
Yep. In essence, the goddess of bacon.
The goddess of bacon. And yeah, there's so many, and I just like how it's sort of small batch, like it's still, it's still like sort of 20 piglets a year, maybe 100.
Well, it would definitely be sought after, you know what I mean? Like world-renowned sought after meats, quality meats, consenting meat.
The consenting meat, the meat that wishes to, and can voice its own opinion.
Yeah.
We've empowered meat with the ability to speak Get a guarantee, personal guarantee. Oh,
says its own prayers before sacrifice.
I love I love killing my sisters. The sacrifice I make, making my own body.
To keep those faithful alive, faithful in the meat. Intensity. Definite intensity, you know. People would be like anxious for the arrival of the new flesh, wouldn't they?
It'd be like it'd be a 6 monthly ritual. So your bacon would be a special thing.
Half yearly, yeah.
Well, bacon keeps.
And you can cure it, you know, so it doesn't all get consumed on the first hit. You know, you got the curing process. Extra smoky. Episode 12, one more to go, Si.
I know.
But season 5, pretty good going.
So what I discovered was that with the what I wanted to do with the pictures, the background tonight.
Yeah.
Was
slide thing. Yeah.
I wanted it to sort of start somewhere and then over like the 10 minutes that it displays to slowly move like a Ken Burns. But unless I'm going to make actual videos of the things doing stuff like that are 10 minutes long, then it's just tedious. So KEYNOTE will let me make a transition go for like 10 seconds. Not 10 minutes. Or 1 minute, not 10 minutes. So I couldn't be bothered working out the math.
Stitching together.
That's stupid.
No.
And so inside OBS there is a function to let you scroll an image.
Slideshow scroll, yeah.
But it doesn't reset after each time. So it just is sometimes going to be like a picture halfway or something like that. Like I did think about going through and editing them, and so that each picture was just at 16 by 9 and just having a really awesome frame. That's what I started to go to do today. I made a folder. It was about to 16 by 9, all the images.
Yeah, chop it down, yeah.
But then I realized because they're square, basically, not quite, but basically the 16 by 9 is 2 images. It's a top and the bottom, both sort of 16 by 9, you know.
Yeah.
Because 16 by 16, anyway, 18. 16 by 18, it's close to
the right
double
scale, yeah.
So, and the top image can be quite cool. Like it's, you know, in these images,
signages,
there's all the signage and stuff. Like there's this whole other image. Like you can have the bottom image, and it's a focus on some people and
street life, and
then there's the top image, and it's just like, well, what if I just scroll the images? So this was the attempt. And what I'm gonna do for next episode is our name panels. I'm gonna put them on the side. And with a white border, and so that they integrate into the video. So when we go vertical, our names are like
automatically just
to the left and right. They click in. Yeah, exactly. They fit into that, and I think they're on the side. I don't think they go along the bottom. I'm not sure because I think that makes it. It's more how you look at it. Like as someone looks at text, it makes the name
stand out a bit.
Well, I know. Yeah, it makes them. It could do. Well, the main thing is shorts, you know. So from a shorts perspective,
when you're top and bottoming,
then I think that having that as opposed to something that sticks out, like at the moment, if I can try and point to it, so like where my name tag is, if I make the name tag more of a bar that sits there neatly, and you know, it looks a bit excessive when you're watching it over an hour, but if you're watching it in 1 minute, it makes sense because it's sort of integrated. Then something that sticks out versus something that's just a sign on the side is just a lot more. It's less janky. Like my head's less likely to be all the way over there than needing to have something run across my body or your body, like it's running across your arm. So we could.
Well, I noticed recently we're not getting much Fenty action happening, which is good.
No, Hyper doesn't Fenty so bad.
Nice.
No, like if I walk in and out of frame, I just sort of
your hands go down and your head sort of.
Yeah, that's me. That's me out of frame. So I just go into some sort of still mode, you know, and then that's me coming back into frame. And what I did was I put my hand in the way. It can do better mouth yet. It's like you want to be.
Yeah, it'll get better over time.
Well, maybe it could be better now. Than it is.
No, they never listen, so come on.
No, like the on the Hyper iOS app, it doesn't do hands. It only does face. It does better face, but they actually have a mode. I reckon what you need, you'd probably have to do something where you flick between FaceTime, looking at the 3D scan, and then you switch to like. I don't know if you can do both camera streams at the same time. Maybe you can or can't. Maybe that's an issue.
Sad that you can't integrate them because you get good head with the iOS.
Well, I don't understand.
Head tracking and whatever.
It's really good.
It's integrated across with the hand scanning from the camera on your PC. You'd think they'd be able to merge those two together, wouldn't you?
You'd think so. Well, it's just funding. It's about how much money you've got to do stuff. That's why I wish programmers would actually do that. Something where they just say you can just what it would cost to have a feature.
Yeah. If you throw the money at it, so just boom.
You go to the tools menu.
Feature.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, that feature's not there. I want that. Then people just start chucking money into to use the program. Suddenly there's like $2,000 in there to build a feature.
Yep. Boom. That's covered. Add it. Pay to play.
And you'd have like those two things, like a different couple of modes. Like you'd have one where someone puts up the idea, you as the developer say how much it's going to cost, and then the person has, when they're saying like, I could afford to pay you $100, and then you come back and tell them, oh, it's going to cost 10 grand. And then you go, well, I reckon let's put it up, and we'll put it up for 30 days. And that, that's up to the person who wants the feature to, put out the information out.
I want to see more games come out where they actually allow you to import your VRM model. So your character's in the game.
In the game.
Yeah. I'd really enjoy us having a bit of a, Mortal Kombat battle with our two characters kicking each other's asses, It'd be quite entertaining.
It would.
Do your final move, punch the head with the, the spinal cord coming out. Super uppercut. Fatality. But yeah, more games where they actually allow you to import your character, your avatar. So it feels like you're more in the game. I think that needs to be pushed a bit more. I mean, there's so many VRML characters out there, so just import whichever one you want to play. And basically, for things like say for instance, you did it with Conan, the Barbarian game, right? And you got to import your character into the game, and it's just nude, and you can add the Conan experience, the bigger breasts or the great big swinging dick if you want. It just gets attached to the character. You import the character as a nude, and then it automatically takes the clothing from the game. You can clothe your character in the clothing from the game. Feel like you're more in the realm.
Well,
just ideas, throwing them out there.
Yeah. This is what. Yeah, no, I agree. You want to have the
be able to drag your avatar. Yeah. Put your avatar in there. It's you. Yeah, you play you. Doing the game.
You haven't watched Sword Art Online yet, have you?
No.
So the way the nerve gear kind of works is it does a map of your body. It takes a measurement of your body. And so the character, you have some kind of universal you within the game's thinking. The game engine's thinking, I'll say.
Yeah.
Probably is better. Or the game's thinking, the game engine's thinking. Or a perceptual version of you. And then when you load into games, your avatar is a unique. It's based on you. It's not you. And you characterize it like you say, give yourself bigger tits or do whatever.
Yeah. Affectations, tattoos, whatever.
But and so Kirito, when the character logs into different games, kind of looks still like himself, even though he definitely is an elf or whatever the game requires. And I think that's sort of it's a cool model, like so that there's this continuum but not, so there's a customization. Like one game does everyone's a cowboy or something, or another one enables like cat-eared people and stuff, and he's got the appropriate look.
I think it'd work.
Yeah, so your avatar like this, my avatar like this would go into a game, and then I'd be
add whatever costume is required for the game style.
That's it. Get your loadout. Put all your kit on, and the clothes all convert.
I wouldn't think it'd be too difficult.
No, you'd have to just have like a sort of a universal language, some kind of object sharing model, which use the sort of the VRM, but with a bit more detail.
Well, just understood the skeleton of your model and just attached
clothing things and stuff were like adaptive to it. So you can use the big name clothing like design software. You can install that and then make 3D models of clothes and like it could be made into actual clothes.
Yeah.
But then they can be available.
Well, you have that as an automatic export. So you want to. I really enjoyed that costume I was wearing in this particular game. Export, send it to a fashion house, and then it comes back, ready-made in your size.
That's it.
Yeah, that'd work.
That would work.
And then you could get a lot more exposure to the, you could have all the big name fashions, and then you could have, this is the fashion person, the up-and-coming fashion person of the week, and these are all their costumes, And
we need to be able to walk as with a continuum of our own self, like me as this character. We need to be able to walk from sort of application to application or environment to environment with people who we're with, and the continuity is with us and our people, and the environments, the applications move.
That's it. Stroll off the streaming screen and then straight into the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
And our conversations and stuff are the continuum, because that's the core of the OS is the people.
The true player one. Oh, that'd be super cool. Well, now that we've mentioned it, just a matter of waiting.
Trying our best.
Hopefully it won't take 30 fucking years this time.
I should have been trying. I mean, things I think about 30 years out there, quite different to that.
Yeah.
More advanced. It takes us 30 years to get to that. That's very sad.
Yeah. I mean, at best estimates, now that we put it out there, probably 2 to 3 years, maybe start to see games where, your character goes into it. I mean, the more VTubers there are, the more that they want to be in the game, right?
Yeah. I think Consent Pig's 50 years away. I'm optimistic.
Yeah. Looking forward to that bacon.
I reckon it might be 2100.
I wouldn't go as far as getting the curly, but I would definitely go on the list for the bacon, the consensual bacon.
What's the other way you'd get bacon? You have to.
Outlaw any other method that non-consensual.
Yeah, non-consent. No one would. becomes unpalatable. There's no need.
Treat it exactly the same way that we treat non-consensual actions in our mode
It's
right
basically
now.
jobs. It's basically having a job.
Mm.
But that pig's consciousness has a job which transfers from brain to brain. The reward for its job is that it lives on.
Yes.
We don't, have that.
Painlessly for the offering.
Yeah. Gets to raise its own young, live in this sort of like tripped out world, or just gets to do it at once within the confines of being eaten.
Be a good life.
Yeah, mix among the elite, sort of get yourself up there onto the magazines of the edible.
Mm-hmm. Play pig.
Play pig. But seriously, like some different creatures. Like
Pig house,
being like the best boar, like the best
Snuffler.
pig.
Snuffler magazine, mate.
But, Snuffler magazine.
Snuffler magazine where you get the spread. You get the spread in the middle, bro.
The
the 3-page spread. Yeah.
Just
Pig goddess.
Pig goddess. All 12 teats, just the breast is still, that's it.
Oozing joy.
Just ooze. Yeah.
Mama on heat.
Yeah. Worship this bacon. That's it.
Whole cults just, surrounding it in the glory of the bacon. It'll work.
Well, but you have I'm just thinking of other animals.
I like the consensual part of it. I mean, that to me is more than...
Now let's scale that to cows. So you've got like the bull situation. I think cows are also like group women, matriarchal.
Yeah.
And the men sort of live in a sort of a
bull battles.
Yeah, bull battles and living their little. So there's these colosseums. So it's interesting because then the fighting pits of yore, they yearn. The cows and the pigs yearn for the fighting pits of yore. Right, those male. Imagine that they do, don't they?
Yeah.
And so their docile lives, like stuck there and having their penises jacked off by a machine for artificial insemination. They want to be in the fighting pits.
No, they're battling for the
supremacy to have bang all the flock.
Pass on the superseed of the mightiest.
The mightiest friggin', bull.
Utter madness. It would be absolute utter madness.
And then
People
the
would
cow
be loving
goddess, the cow goddesses, really sort of, once again. Now, what would that do to something like a Hindu? Would that trip them out? Like where, the cow, the goddess is saying, literally eat from me. I mean, they'd have to worship their goddess, wouldn't they? It'd bring together all faiths.
It would. It would. The power of consent compels you.
It does. It'd be rude.
Be rude not to.
Yeah, what
Turn
do
it
you
down.
what do you mean my bacon's unclean? What are you even saying?
That's it.
I live a cleaner life than you, heathen.
That's right.
I'm a goddess. What are you?
My bacon is well renowned.
Yeah,
my milk is well renowned.
My mind lives eternal. I see you as the small.
From one host to the next.
Yeah. Your human lives are so short.
Forever beautiful.
I suckle you. You are my children.
Consumed in its finality. Yeah.
You can see maybe even like over 500 years or 1,000 years.
Just be like total cults just built up around it. Yeah. Each individual animal of tastiness.
About like the really
for avid book writers, I'm sure we're plenty of good material for anyone who wants to write a book. Si, like, if they had to write a book about something, like we're giving them plenty of material to do so, right?
So what would be what would be a particularly weird sort of consensual meat like to eat, like cows, like their sort of rituals? What they would prefer?
Goddess of the chicken. Big drumsticks. Oh, imagine giant drumsticks. Like human leg-sized drumsticks. It'd be like eating an ostrich.
No, but
it'd be like eating an ostrich, Si, or an emu.
Do you think you can uplift? Do you think you can add intelligence, like create enough and sort of augment the intelligence of a chicken enough such that it becomes that you can bring out its awareness? Well,
they got two brains. They got a brain in their head and then a brain down the middle of the spine or whatever, haven't they? The chicken. So it's augmented anyway. So you just increase the size of one of those brains, increase the brain in the back or in the.
So make this sort of super chicken.
Yeah, make it super smart.
But I think a super smart chicken is different to what we think as intelligence. I think
dinosaur. You're actually talking about dinosaur. Come on. We want to eat dinosaurs again, don't we?
Sounds dangerous.
We want dinosaur meat on the menu.
It sounds like we're on the menu. That's what it sounds like.
We could possibly be if we start augmenting things to a certain point. They'd be looking at them humans like, hey, how about a bit of mutual consent from you guys?
I don't think we can get consent from chickens because if we got consent from chickens, we would be on the menu. We'd be the ones asking for consent.
Yeah.
No, you don't have consent to eat me.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But I can so easily.
Mm-hmm. Giving chickens teeth.
Yeah. Well, you'd have a whole flock. Just go a human. No worries.
Teach you the pecking order. Like truly teach you the pecking order. Yeah.
Lose an eye.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fight one of them off, like beat them to death as they're pecking more. You'd be in a bad way. Like just if they were like had
Messed
the
you up.
intelligence of humans, uplifted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I feel like the distance between a chicken and some kind of interface which lets them communicate, using an AI to interpret their things into language, their movements, and they'd have to be aware that they were getting feedback, that what they were imagining was becoming real, basically. So if you can capture the intent of the creature and transmit that as language, which you probably can through reinforcement training and some sort of AI thing of like listening to their communication.
I think you'll find that animals are actually a lot smarter than we give them credit for. So
yeah, no, but I'm just trying to like how to.
A lot of humans, look down on animals, but I'm fairly certain some of the animals I've met have been way smarter than the humans I've met. Not trying to be cruel and unkind about it, but
no,
yeah.
I agree. But I just haven't. Chickens are a special case.
Yeah,
they're just a really.
Remember where you came from, chickens.
Yeah, they're
once
brutal.
were dinosaurs.
They're brutal birds.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to uplift them. Maybe that means they have to go off the menu.
Perhaps, suddenly choosing not to be consenting. Unconsenting chicken.
Yeah, well, I don't want consent from a chicken, because to have consent, I've got to start asking for privileges myself.
So I guess there'd be a cutoff, wouldn't there?
There's something I think in my who I would give sentient rights to eat would have to be something I thought was less brutal than me.
Yeah,
fundamentally, wouldn't you?
True.
I mean, that's what you're thinking.
Baseline, yeah.
Yeah, like even the given strength of like cows, I don't know. Do you think a race of bulls would be able to defeat humans?
Well, just ask a Minotaur.
I don't know. Like, would we come down?
It was pretty tough in his time,
conflict, like
Minotaurs were pretty damn tough in their time. They didn't take shit from no one.
Would they augment themselves so that they had like the ability to walk on two legs and things, like where combat?
Well, if it became mobily efficient, I guess. I guess the way you look at it, they're a pretty big unit. I think walking around on two legs, most of those animals wouldn't be doing too well. You know what I mean? Like they'd have to have big fucking rear legs, like they'd need to be well endowed in the leg department if they're going to start standing up. When you weigh, half a ton. You know what I mean? Like you'd want to have something helping you hold you up. Yeah, it wouldn't just happen.
No. So
and you rarely see that in real life. The only time they rear up is when they want to, come down hard and stomp with the front. So
that's it. So in that regard, it limits their capacity. Like they have limitations. Like they don't have hands. I think that still humans in general, even if they tried to breed up with intelligence, humans in general would still have the upper hand because of configuration, unless we started allowing sort of full species augmentation, like where you can just.
I mean, we start off when we're kids in 4-wheel drive mode, and then we go to 2-wheel drive mode, and then later on in life we end up in 3 and 6 and 12, leg mode with the canes, crutches, and whatever else is. Sometimes on wheels. Meals on wheels.
Meals. Wheeling. Wheelie mealy. Get that snacker rolling.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just what a chicken wants. I like my rolling snacks. Bring them down to me. I like human kebab. Tasty, tasty treats. Get this to me as kibble. I don't even care. Human oboils and
man, we've covered so much in our
like
5 seasons, haven't we, Si?
Chicken
Like,
for you.
covered so many ideas.
A sentient chicken for you. It'd be a metal world, man. Chickens would be the metal creature, right?
Yeah. Robot chicken. Absolutely.
Other animals would
robot chicken all the way.
Would say that was the mistake humanity made. The species of like
spent so much time upgrading us that they forgot to upgrade themselves. Yeah.
Pigs and cows, like sentient, aware beings. So the thing with that is, like, if the animal has consent, you could essentially end up with like bulls that become lawyers.
Yeah. Bullish bankers.
Yeah, actual banking. Yeah, that they're right into banking. I'm not sure what the sort of the things that would interest bulls particularly.
Well, land. They love land. They love grass. So. Land would be they'd be like real estate agents. This is a real nice pasture you got going on here.
Yeah.
Be a shame if you humans put some houses on it. Like shaming humans because they're building a dwelling. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think humans should live underground, personally.
But let the animals just go wild.
Well, if animals
Come up in hunting parties every now and again
yeah,
just to
imagine
get
if the whole
get the meat.
peninsula, like of where I live, was all underground. All the buildings were underground, and so the view to people who have views of the Sydney Harbour, their view is a 1 or 2 story section of land. The rest of their house is underground. It's like just basically it's balconies. So all you have is people's balconies, and otherwise it's just trees.
Yeah, and land.
And land. Yeah, parks and shit. And you just build into the landscape. That's what I feel. That's how I see it. And I mean, the only thing about that is it's sort of you're not really having.
Well, it'd take away the coveting. Like you wouldn't you wouldn't be able to just go, oh, that's the best balcony I've ever seen. I want a balcony like that. You know what I mean? Like the whole coveting of the house and how many rooms and how many stories would all be hidden underground. So the coveting factor would just diminish, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's still. Well,
I mean, probably the only thing.
There's views. I mean, like there's the whole thing.
And you grow stuff outside too. The land that was wasted in the having the house on it would be now
but not
accessible ground again.
I think the thing is like definitely living underground, like the concept of who's got a permanent view and who's got a shared view.
Well, you'd have the cameras. You'd have cameras looking at the view up above, and then they could just be projected on the walls on the house down below, so you could be seeing whatever's going on the outside. Underground,
But that's what I mean. Is some places would have the real view, and some places you'd have the shared view.
You'd pay extra for the real view. Yeah,
you would. So people who owned or lived in properties that had real views, that's a status.
Yeah.
Versus, you had
shared view. Yeah,
shared view.
Better work.
But a lot of places are sort of living underground. It's where it's at anyway.
Much cooler.
Yeah, all the things. And it doesn't really matter. Like if I go out of my doorway, I could be in a vertical stacked house. Where I've got like a
70 stories underground.
Yeah, sure. Or just like a silo, basically, where one room is my bedroom, one room is like my kitchen, one room is like my lounge room, and they're all like whatever 5 meters square. Imagine like having so you've just literally got sort of like this. So you're like a periscope, yeah. So your apartment, your view of out onto your balcony is like say 5 meters wide.
Yeah.
And your apartment though is then a block that then goes down into the ground 5 meters. Like it's a 5 meter downside like width instead of like a house block which might be whatever, like a quarter acre.
800 or whatever,
800 square meters. Yeah, this would be like, say, 25 square meters. And you build like a silo house, yeah? And so each room in your house is just a vertical
level.
Yeah. And the top level is the balcony and entrance.
/ periscope.
Yeah, it's a periscope dwelling.
Yeah.
As opposed to like built sideways into things. You build vertically.
Yeah.
In tubes. And so potentially then at the bottom of the tubes you have connectors.
Which is all your facilities and
that's where
power and water and sewage going out. Yeah.
To get major connecting transport things or to get to hub points. You might have
transport layer.
Yeah, transport kitchen, or not kitchen, but services where you buy or get things. Shops would be sort of
service and delivery layer for your
which is back into the mountain.
nutrient consumption center.
Thinking of architecture kind of volumetrically once again, like sort of like more sort of instead of this plonking on top of a 2D surface. We build so much in 2D still. Yeah. We're thinking volumetrically inside. Yeah. And then you say like fully the tops are just gardens, and they could be structures. Like they don't, there are things, but yeah, having most of the space all being landscaping and walkways.
Yeah, and you could have all your gardens connected, so they're all self-watering. You know what I mean? Like all you do is just plant in it, and then the water comes from the local water point, and then trickles down through all the gardens and the yards, and ends up at the bottoms. Yeah. And then goes back through the recycling process of what's left over. Then any precipitation or whatever is collected the same way, just through the channels in the gardens and goes into the reservoir.
And that's quite shallow. If you want to have more dwelling, like more depth to your house, you just have more rooms.
Just keep digging down past the different layers.
And instead of owning 5 meters wide, you can own two silos, 2 5-meter silos. Like I don't know.
And you could have the connecting, like you said, with the you say for instance your transport layer where your garage is at. So you hop in your little bike / transport pod and go into the main thing and go anywhere, and then pop up, into areas where there's no underground stuff. You pop up onto the surface and cruise around, do your surface things, and then back down into your little underground lair and, back to your stacked pancake house.
Yeah. With your little personal view.
Yep.
5-meter balcony.
And depending on what sort of money you got, you could have a 60-story house with the games room and all the kids' extra rooms. And
you have to be 20 meters wide too. Like you could have 20 meters of frontage or 10 meters or whatever.
Yeah.
2 stories of frontage. So
combined view. You could just have like this overall collective view of all the cameras in the local area, just creating this huge combined view that you could move to any part of. or shift on your walls or your display system of what's outside to any part of that, localized area.
Oh, that's easy, but your top level, your periscope level of your house.
Yep, your deck
has either got it's single unit is 5 meters square meters or 25, but then you could have like 2 modules next to each other, so it's 10 meters wide.
Yep.
Or you could expand that the other way, so you've got like one that goes down the hill, so you've got 2 stories, but those 2 stories are then give you a room which is 10 meters long.
Yep.
So you've got bigger spaces, but you think of the Earth then as like basically like Minecraft, I guess. So the Earth is
Minecraft
made of like 5 meter cubes.
Yeah.
And it's what you assign to that 5 meter cube as a value. So one could be a living one, and 5 meters. Like my bedroom's like say 2.8. Like maybe the average room is 3 meters, but with accessories and things and services and stuff hanging off the side that don't take up the 3 meters. An extra 2 meters is and corridors and shit. So I think like the average square is
interlinking and service panels and whatever.
Yeah, I think it probably is about a 5 meter square block. Is this cube of potentiality. But thinking vertically is the key, because at the moment we think so flat. And then you go down vertical, and then you just have other things happen down underneath the ground. Yeah.
And in essence, you'd gain space because you by going down, basically you're just adding that same size again and again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For each room you want to have.
Rather than going, oh look, I don't have enough children for the whatever, or X amount of bedrooms or whatever. But no, when you need an extra level, you just have it dug in.
That's it. And then if you don't need that sometime later, you move to something which is and someone else has a 5-layer one.
Yeah. Can purchase into that, that development. Yeah.
That 5-layer one that's been built later on.
True.
Because a little bit, you might want a 3-layer one later at some other point.
When you're getting towards retirement age and you've taking care of all your offspring.
But going beneath like less than a 3-story one, or even at 3 stories, I think what you get to is, so you got 3 rooms basically. Say 3 rooms.
Well, you cut down on your thermals, like having to heat and
it's where you have like
cool the place.
Blocks. Yeah, it's where you have apartment blocks. So
as long as you had the airflow, as long as the airflow was there,
you'd have shared balconies. So some building developments would have like 4 or 5 meter square, so 20 meters, 10 by 10, 100 meter square. So they have a 10 by 10 meter frontage, so 2 blocks by 2 blocks, and then they would be like for 30 stories. And so you'd have like apartments on levels. There would be 20 apartments, and they would all share that bit of land.
Well, you'd buy your block, and then if you wanted to be a landlord, then you just put the extra whack in the apartments. Yeah,
you just put the extra floors down. But you build that as like what they have is a shared balcony, and their balcony is 10 by 10. Is a 100 square meter bit of land, effectively. And so in there it could be like patios, ceiling windows. If it's got like a fall on the land.
Yep.
Or whatever you want, little huts.
And I guess once you got to a certain level, like if you were a 30-story, then with that amount of people in there, you could afford real view. Like
exactly.
Balcony would extend your real view.
Yeah, your 100 meter view, that 100 meters of land upstairs.
Yeah.
Would be cool. Like
shared space. You know what I mean? Like have your your pools and whatever else you want for the overflowing gardens.
10 by 10 meter block. You could have whatever. Just
bacon modules. The snap-on bacon module. I love the snap-on things. Like that's always been a good
100 square meters per floor. That's 10 meter wide frontages.
Shink Inc. housing developments.
Yeah, and so then what you get to, I think, is maybe where you'd have to figure out something that made sense as a certain layers in, that acted as a transport layer or some kind of connecting.
And they would be commonalities between all the buildings. You want the garage transport layer. It has to be built on the 7th level underground.
That's it.
Yeah. So that would be the uniform.
There'd be some kind of measurement like C minus 6, sea level minus 6. That's so there's a
that's the actual transport level. Yeah.
So your modules will always connect.
And you may not want a transport level. Like you might be happy just to do the above ground thing, right? Through paths and bike paths and such what, right? So you would dedicate your transport level to like a charging station.
Nice. Special offerings.
Yeah. Make extra income from the charging level,
Nice.
Yeah.
Instead of a storage.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would go that, you know what I mean? Like additional income, charging level. Now you get X amount of charges per week or whatever. I think we're onto something. Mole people. Return of the mole people.
I mean, it's like allows the top of nature. Like imagine like above you was just.
It'd be just blissful.
like hundreds of like birds, like flocks of birds, and all of the native things. Everything's
just
there,
doing their thing.
just completely doing its thing. And you've just got these little balconies looking out over.
Yeah.
A couple of trees missing here and there, so there's
Your observer points, so you can check it out, check out the nature, just loving and living.
That's it. And so you're either sitting on the balcony or whatever, looking out over the view in your gardens.
No such thing as roadkill.
No.
Get to that point where there's no such thing as roadkill.
No, because all of the land up there is for looking out over and whatever. Because all of that's if you're moving,
admiration.
It's underground.
Purely admiration and extra greenness.
And would you like?
Would there be a nature buffer in between your observer deck and then the actual first level? I think you'd need to have at least a level or two for nature buffer.
Like so that soil. Like
big trees can dig their roots right down, and you know what I mean. Like have that.
So your first floor is actually say
-3. Yeah.
Probably -5.
Or even -5 if you. Yeah.
You've got one whole block of natural at least.
And
there you can just.
And that allows animals to have their burrows and whatever else is the trees to be able to dig their roots down far enough to be secured.
Yeah.
Or whatever size they're in, whatever size mode they're in. I think that would have to be put in as one of the building permit things. Like you can have your little top observatory point.
Yeah.
But the first level of your build would be -5, and that would be level 1 for you. Level 1 or B1 would be level actual level -5, and then you could have that true nature buffer where things could burrow and do their thing, and it wouldn't encroach or then tunnel into your dwelling.
No. It provides a sort of a buffer. Allows for it. That's cool. I like it.
I think that'd be important if you're going to plan something like that. Is have that nature buffer above.
Which is
thermally it'd be brilliant. Like you'd save so much on air conditioning and shit like that.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, but you'd definitely still have mechanized heat. But you would save, but you would also require always to have some form of air conditioning if you had a minimum build depth, because it would mean that your balconies would be then have a lift that went down 5 meters.
Yeah.
Or some kind of thing like that to get to the first floor. And which is a bit of a drop.
Then you just have your intakes and your outtakes, basically on your balcony level, just above the balcony level on the top of the roof.
Yeah, that's it.
Your panels all set up and your wind generator or whatever. I'm sure there'll be a different technology by then once they got to that position. Have to be some other way.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because it means that in some places, like say where it's flat, like so all of the system works quite well is in hilly areas because you use the natural hill to create terraces effectively of 5 meter cubes and the 5 meter cube could only have like a 1 meter fall. It doesn't really matter, like because that's still enough balcony for you to look over the next person's head, like down the hill, 5 meters away, 6 meters away from you. But and the way, like you look at most sort of dwellings at the moment, they sort of tend towards where it's going to be a 10 meter square block. But the fall could be still 1 meter or 2 meters, and you're going to have like a balcony above the person behind you or below the person behind you on a fall. But if you're on flat land, then you either have to dig down to make terraces to allow that to happen, or you build up. And I think what you do is it's easy to build up. Yeah. And so in the areas which are
create like hills, a staggering, you
take the material from where there are hills and you relocate it to where there are flats, and you build up. And so
create the extra additive levelings, to
go
the terrace effect again. Yeah.
And so the structure stays kind of level, like where a transport level 7 is the sort of ground layer of like certain flat areas, like it's like the it's like neg 1. Yeah. So I don't know. So everything can connect in an interesting way like that. Like you have sort of like a known kind of height, Minecrafting the world. I mean, for me, I'm thinking of it more of as an orbital substrate, as this cube of space and what its function is. Yeah. But I think it's actually really useful to do on Earth. It could just be so much more natural. Like we could have all of the things we have, and living in like the city here in Sydney, and getting on like you go say to Westfield, and it's only just because reasons. No, I don't know. They could easily make a tunnel that went straight from
where you are to the Westfield general area. Yeah.
Well, at least from
shopping
the train station. So like you can go from the train Bondi Junction all the way to Parramatta and never see daylight. Well, you do come out of the train and you see some daylight at different points in the train. But then the tube you come out of at the other end is also underground, and you go into a Westfield. So the only reason Bondi Junction Westfield isn't connected to the train line directly is just because it hasn't been built yet. Like it will be, you can see the underground thing
where it's progressing. Yeah,
like you just build it straight into, they'll link it in, and
Westfield Station.
And so you can live like, and in Sydney City, there are multiple floors underground, and you can travel from town hall underground most of the way through the city underground, from arcade to arcade, like linking to various things. Like it's trippy. Like, so I think we're already a very primitive way of thinking about
that underground life.
And
yeah.
people living in some apartment buildings, some of these new ones you see.
Well, as it gets hotter, they're going to have to take this into consideration. Either they're going to have to return nature back to what it is to deal with the temperature changing, or we've got to adjust around it. You know what I mean? Like we got
go underground
and
let the nature
think cool again. Yeah.
Build our farms and our landscapes. Lace our treed areas with fruit trees and all sorts of tasty things, and like little easy land transport. E-bikes just cruising around.
That's it. You need your collection of vegetables. It's just a cruise around the block with the communal
which is all just
fruits
parks,
and vegetables.
Parks
and then the only thing you're really paying for would be your special product like meat or lollies and chocolates.
They live in their own communal sort of places doing consensual feed producing. I mean, would a human be allowed to do it? Would a human be allowed to have its consciousness and become a feedstock?
I mean, if we got to that point where the animal said we've decided no longer to consent, then I guess you're going to have to come up with some alternative, aren't you?
Well, no, but if you've given the power to, I think that there'll be humans who'd be jealous of the pig queens and the bovine queens, because
they'd be wanting to be the ones that gave the consent for their
bodies to be eaten.
Yeah.
How come they get all the glory? They get cognac and all this fancy shit.
I want that too. I want to be that too. Yeah.
And then you've just become like sort of the Lindsay Lohan or whatever, Just like really, really
Little Miss Porky.
Something like where you get your people get to eat your body, But, I mean, humans just are slow making. It's just a very expensive.
It takes a long time to get the stock up.
So 18 years she'd have to wait till she was able to have a
ability to properly consent. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you were at that position, Si, you could fast grow something. Like you've seen chickens go from little baby chicks to fully grown in 6
weeks. Chickens are not to be made sentient.
With the the whole hormone speed ups.
If we make chickens sentient, we're all dead. We're just dead.
You might as well give it back to the dinosaurs.
Yeah. No. So both cows. I think sentient. They would be angry. They could be a range of things, but if they were allowed to live out their best life, but then humans will want the best life.
Yeah, jelly, of course.
The Chad human, want to be they want to have their own combat rings. Like they really sort of bring out that desire.
Punching on, getting the best mates.
Women just wanted to sit there and consume alcohol, fine wine and stuff. To be breeders.
Pump out the babies.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes and shit. Just get that freaking cigars going. Eat me.
Eat me.
They wouldn't make. I just don't think they would make. I just can't see humans as a food consumption. 18 years, one body. You don't get a lot of bacon from that.
Forever young, eh?
So
forever young, so.
See, I think humans it doesn't work for. Just can't see that it's too slow unless you must start making us do things at 14. But even 14 years gestation cycle. Like if it took us 14 years to grow a cow to eat edible, we wouldn't be growing cows.
We wouldn't be. Yeah, that's right. Because they're shortened lifespan and increased development. By the shortened lifespan is the reason why we've chosen them as the food product.
Yes. Yearlings. I mean, we just take yearlings for slaughter. The cow could pump out
baby back ribs.
Yeah, that's it. Just munch
with
them
the
down.
Zuckerberg sauce.
Holy shit, man! It is 10 o'clock. I just realized.
I know. We've been just chatting away, bro. It's been pretty mellow tonight, but we covered some good stuff.
That's
more hugs, more hugs and kissing during the presidential debates. I'm not feeling that love. Just to reiterate on the earlier point, it would be far more interesting to watch if there were, hugs, open mouth kissing, a lot more reach arounds, while they're doing each other over, a lot more reach arounds going on.
So what's the name of the episode?
Good question.
I mean, there's consenting meat, there's debating, there's the.
Consenting meat was good. I did like that.
Debating
covered
hugs.
Quite a bit. What?
I don't know, a week of debate, the
cats and dogs. The other white meat.
Over cats and dogs. The debate over cats and dogs. Well, in our case, it was actually pig queens.
Pig queen. That's it. Got onto the pigs.
The debate over
consensual meat. Long live the pig queen.
The debate over pets versus consensual pig queens. That's pretty interesting. Is that
could be taken so many wrong ways, of course.
More kissing is needed in the debate over pets versus pig. Is that the title?
I guess.
No, it's more kissing, more hugs is a shorter word. And what about hugs?
More hugs to be more
not
realistic.
Hugs are needed.
During
Hugs
debates. Yeah.
are needed.
Bad feelings detected.
I'll take out consensual pig queens. Hugs are needed in the debate over pigs and or pigs versus in the pigs versus pet queens debate. That's where debate goes.
Yeah.
Hugs are needed in the pets versus pig queen debate.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the episode?
I think so. There we go. It's coming together a brilliant mind, Si. That's what it's all about. Modern problems, modern solutions.
Main description yet to come.
Another worthy cheap.
Filled in.
Cheap, 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 cheap.
I'm making like a got a really good sort of standard
for the breakdowns now.
Well, it says like background made by backgrounds by
CoPilot.
With suggestions on where to look by Arian. Other beings involved in the episode. It's got like Hyper, VROID, MAGICMIRROR. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I might just change the order of that. MAGICMIRROR. VROID's more of a back-end software.
Yeah.
And OBS.
Most definitely. Very well used tool of the OBSing.
CoPilot's up there. And then video and SONOBUS are very much here. I'm just putting them in the order of sort of like, because I think it sort of goes Hyper or whatever, MAGICMIRROR Hyper, and then SONOBUS video. I think OBS is after MAGICMIRROR and that, and then the connectors SONOBUS and video.
Yeah.
And then after that it's CoPilot, and then it's just all the software we use.
Google, whatever. Yeah.
VROID, DaVinci Resolve, PIXELMATOR, PC, Mac, FFworks, RECUT, KEYNOTE, CLICKUP.
It was so funny doing the Ask Orion's giant head this week, like just waiting, like the 2 hours of just waiting for the the ant to crawl into the antlion's nest.
We didn't do a lot of we should actually do a whole episode, well not a whole episode, but the whole thing around like breeding up warrior ants for like as defensive barriers in Holocaust events, in Holocausts. Like bush ant, like I've talked about
the ring of fire ants.
The ring of you feed them cattle
on the outside, and then the ring of green ants on the inside.
Yeah, so the humans trying to come through just get fucking trolleyed.
That's it. Followed by the meat-eating ants, and then the little special friendly ants, the brown ones. Rings of ant protection, natural defense barriers.
So I've made this like now that I'm like using ClickUp and building like the episode lists and everything in here. I'm building like a better
debase of the
like template.
Final output.
The template body text for.
Well, that's 3 hours on the nose there, Si. Thank you for listening to our cheapenings.
We actually didn't do a heap of different. We didn't do a lot of the topics from the ideas list tonight. We really went sort of. We just had our own.
It was own agenda tonight.
It was its own agenda.
Well, it was a bit of a slow news week for me after the faceplant earlier last Sunday.
Oh yeah, that was. Well, of course, man.
That did put a dampener on the whole thing for me. So it's taken me a good week to get my wits back. Hopefully, we'll be a bit more on the topics next week for the final episode, season 5. Then diving directly into season 6, Si.
Yeah.
I'll do a bit more research and have a bit more added to the list.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'll figure out a name for that one. But yeah, there's still quite the list there. I'll just try and
go through some of the topic. Yeah.
Let's
3 hours is good. Any more than that's just a pain to edit, so that's where we're capping out.
It's totally true. Well, it's not a pain to edit. It's just too long to edit. Yeah. The weight of it becomes. You can't just knock it out.
It's good when we keep consistent on a single idea and sort of flesh that out as best as possible, like we did with the underground dwellings. I think that was pretty good. We covered quite a bit on that.
Yeah. Press the outro.
Bleep. Cheep, 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 cheep. It's extra fucking cheap, I'm telling you.